my sound. Hello, everybody. Yay, there we are. I turn my sound off. Hi, Haley. Hi, Ginger. Joseph, what a surprise to see you in here. Hi, Zan. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Jason. Hi, Chappie. Hey, Chappie, did you get your card yet? Hi, Ed. Hi, Dragon Lair. Hi, Maria. Hi, Sandy and Jay Jr. and Bob and Jesse. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Christian. Buddy, don't be barking the whole time. Hi, Thomas. Hi.
He needs everyone to know that he's there. You can't forget him.
Who's that?
Buddy.
Oh, Buddy, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to let everybody know he's here.
It really is just the Buddy Show hosted by Punchy.
Okay, Chappie got his. I think everybody should have gotten their cards from last week except Moonstone hasn't gotten hers yet, which kind of worries me. Hi, Mikey.
With everything that's going on, the post office has been a little confused. I've been finding a lot of my fish orders have been coming in like a day or 2 days.
I won't send any fish right now because my mail has been just terrible. Just terrible.
Hello, everyone in the chat.
Hi, Sparrow Kelly. Reels, hi. Anybody I missed, hi. So I thought I would show everybody what we're going to give away tonight. And then we'll get into some fishy stuff, and then I'll do the first giveaway. Hi, Mrs. Griffin.
Oh, I almost pulled a Joseph. I'm in top chat.
Oh, I got to open up my Patreon. Oh, not my Patreon. I got to open up my PayPal in case anybody does anything, then that would be good to have it open. And I see
is getting a pair of macrostoma. Keep me posted on that.
Okay, let me see. Where was I? Oh, yeah, I was doing this. I'm so easily forgetful.
I've already had too much coffee. I'm fidgeting.
Oh, I got coffee in front of me. I didn't get a chance to get any. I was going to get some Fireball for my coffee, which definitely calms me down. But I haven't done it yet. I had the windows open today, and now I got flies in the house. I should know better than that.
See, if I was drinking, I would talk far too much about far too many things and then just fall asleep on everyone.
Mr. Zen, hi. Buddy, no more. You've had I filled my pockets with cookies and they're empty. They're all gone. All gone. Hi, Brian. Now, I haven't seen Brian Volman for a long time. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what I got done for today. Now, there was one drawing that I did of a hawk, and it just went out of my mind what kind of hawk it is. Totally out of my mind. But anyway, I sold it and sent it already. And then this one here, I should put on StreamYard so I can make sure that everybody can see this stuff. Now, you guys know that the first thing that I do when I finish anything, including the little cards, is put it on Patreon, and my Patreon people have first choice. So I'm going to show you a couple that got solded. I just made up that word.
It's a fantastic word.
So this one, Maria Z bought today. It is a dart frog. So you guys look close and drool because you don't get to get it. Because that one sold on Patreon. Patreon always gets first choice. And then after that, if it's a giveaway, then it goes in the giveaway. And if it's something for sale, then it goes on Facebook after Patreon's having first choice.
Yeah, and sometimes, Pam, you post pictures of things on Facebook that are already sold, and it doesn't say that they're already sold.
This one Ginger bought a little chickadee.
Aww. I like that.
Okay, so, and then, like I say, there was a hawk too that sold, but I already sent it, so I can't show you. So here's what's in the giveaway tonight. Now, tonight, hi Jess. Tonight marks my exactly to the day, 2 years since I posted my first video. So we're having a bigger giveaway tonight. Not huge, but a bigger one. Okay, so we got a killdeer portrait. That's going to be in giveaway. And we got a full body killdeer. That's going to be in the giveaway. Which, by the way, Amber, you can enter too. And
that would be right. I'm the co-host.
This is a bullfrog sticking his head up out of the water. And that's going to be in the giveaway. And this is a little dart frog that I don't like, but it's going to be given away. Okay, now for the extra stuff. These are limited edition prints. Now, on the limited edition prints, the only way I can send it overseas or out of the country is if you are willing to pay the postage. So if you win and you're not in the United States and you want to pay the postage, then we'll send it to you. Otherwise, don't enter the print ones. The cards I can send overseas real easily. These are going to cost money, so you would have to pay the postage if you want to win it, if you're not in the U.S. And I didn't do a snake yet, Dragonlar, because I don't have a snake. So I got to find somebody that has a snake. Okay, so this, let me see here. This is a limited edition.
I have a few.
And it's called Southern Belle, or Irish Belle. And it's an Irish sheep. And it is number 8 of 25. Okay?
Wow.
So that one's going to be given away. This one is called Sisters. It's really hard to see because the light wants to glare.
You have an incredible ability to add texture. I think that's why I like your art so much, because your animal work has so much texture to it, like the fur.
Ah, wait till you see the last one. Okay, so this is number 10 of 25, and that's going to be given away. This one is kind of the coup de grace, and it is number 21 of 50. I wish I could get it without having the glare on it. Let me see if I back way up. There we go. This is a limited edition print. And there's a lot of glare on it. But anyway, somebody's going to win this. I'll probably give it away the last thing tonight. Okay, so that's going to be our giveaways tonight.
Pam, I'm never letting you see anything that I attempt to draw.
Oh, no.
It's like Hangman compared to what you're doing.
Don't say that. It always makes me feel bad when people say
I can be artsy in other ways. Just drawing is not my forte. I'm good at painting. That player is amazing. The sheep, too.
Oh, Maria hasn't gotten her card yet either. And the print's going to be coming. It is, I didn't priority mail them, so they'll take a little bit, but they'll be there. The prints that I sent out. And the card, look for it tomorrow, because there's a couple people haven't gotten their cards yet, and a couple people have. I'm talking to Maria because she sent me an email. So just keep watching the mail, because everything's coming. Hi, V-Stag. Hi. The Art of Handmade Dolls and stuff. Hi. Chevyfish. Hi. Sean. Hi.
Oh, Scott. Alien World Aquatics has said he's going to wear a bow in his head just like yours. Please do.
Oh, Brian.
Please. Oh, Scott.
Brian, you can put anything you want on. I don't really have a $5 tier so much as just up to from $0 to $25. You get first choice on anything that I do, and then for $25 and up, you get a print every like about 4 times a year, and then for 50, I think it's $50 and up, you get a drawing once a year, and for $100 and up, you get an oil painting once a year, and that's my Patreon. Hi, Alien World. Hi, Priscilla. You're gonna send me a different bow? You don't like my bow? Oh no. Hi, Our Family, Our Journey. Hi, Dubsy. Oh, Pusa Raid. Wow, that's cool. Hi, Bacchus.
Pusa's fun. You can learn a lot watching studios.
Studios. Oh my God, yes. They have such. They stay right on top of things. It's like really, really good to watch.
They're also incredibly welcoming. Like the community in their live
Oh
streams
yeah, they
is
are.
so
Hi, the
friendly.
Traveling Pisces. Oh my gosh, there's too many people in here to say hi to.
I usually try to just like do a group hi.
Deadlocked, Old School Chef,
Oh, I just left the live stream. No,
Orange Green TV, Dubsy, a name I can't pronounce at all. Can one of my mods throw up Pusa Studios, their link? Because you guys, anybody that has a channel really should be checking them out, because they are a wealth of information. They give extremely good advice on your channel, and they are right on top of anything, any new changes on YouTube. They're right on top of it and let you know. It's just, you really should join if you haven't. Hi, Sandcrick. Hi, Eminem. We are kind of a fishy, arty channel. Thank you, Johnny. Oh my gosh, there's so many people in here, and I know I'm missing a bunch of people.
It's like it's like the fish and art late night show.
Yeah,
it's
the fish and art late night.
It's a little bit of fish. It's a little bit of art. It's a lot of just like late night. This conversation has gone an interesting path, and now the stories are very random but extremely entertaining. The number of times I've tried to stay awake for your stream, because I actually have mild narcolepsy, so when I'm tired, and I'll be laying there fighting it, and the next thing I know, it's like, and it's this like bright screen, and I can't tell you the number of times I've pulled it away, and it was just your rice fish tank.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh shit, Pam. You and when Lucas used to stream late, I'd like be thwacked awake and see like the shaking camera over a tank and be like, oh crap, Lucas, that's right, I was watching a stream. Your rice fish, by the way, have completely inspired me.
There's so many new names in here. I can't say hi to everybody. Oh, hi, Andrew. Thank you. Hi. How's Buddy? He's doing okay. He is slowly getting worse, like old dogs do, but he's okay right now. It's getting harder and harder for him to go up and down the steps to go outside. Hi, Pixel Master Kira. Oh my goodness, there's so many people in here. Hi, Mrs. Griffin. Thank you. And we threw up your link, and we're bragging on you, Pusa.
Yeah, Jesse, if you're getting a black eye from a phone, that must be like a pretty serious phone.
Yes.
Is that a phone and not like a tablet? Because I've done that. I got a black eye from my Nintendo DS. I was playing it in bed and I fell asleep, and it like thwacked me just for I had a black eye.
And you guys, one of these nights, and this is going to be the first time they've heard of it, but I want to have Pusa Studios on here too. One of these nights for a guest. Tonight's guest, for all these people that are just coming in here, is Amber from Big City Bettas, and she has like amazing skills and lots of tanks, and she's very knowledgeable and pretty funny too. So she's my co-host tonight. I'm giving away a bunch of art stuff tonight, so So that's what tonight's stream is, kind of my 2-year anniversary from the first video that I ever posted on YouTube, exactly 2 years ago. And yeah, that's what tonight is. Okay, thanks for stopping in, M3.
Well, congratulations again on 2 years. That's a pretty big accomplishment. So,
I don't know. I've been bugging everybody on here for 2 years.
You've been bugging anybody, Pam. Everyone loves you.
Drinking my coffee, telling everybody, have a nice day.
So now you were keeping fish for a decent amount of time before you got into YouTube, right?
Oh, heck yeah. I have been keeping fish for since I was 13, and I'm old now, so yeah, buddy, no, go lay down. Lay down.
So a decent amount of time. So what made you want to do YouTube? I'm so curious, what compels various people to start their channel?
I was on YouTube for over 2 years.
Doing art?
Just following all the fish channels and stuff before I ever posted my first video, and people started bugging me to post a video, so I did. Lay down. So yeah, and the first live stream I had, Bob Kaler won a drawing. He gave away a drawing for, I think it was my 300th subscription. So I gave a drawing away, and Bob Kaler won it. Buddy, lay down.
It's like having a small kid.
Yeah. Hush. Lay down. I'm all out of cookies. There's no more. No more. Oh, he's such a pain.
Sounds just like me with the nieces. No, get down. There are no more cookies.
I catfish Anyway, then that was around Christmas time, the first time that I did a live stream, and it was to give away the drawing. And I got the webcam that I'm still using, and I went live, and I had no sound. Seriously, on my first live stream, when I gave a drawing away, I had no sound. I had no audio.
Oh, I mean,
sign language and holding up little to the screen and drawing numbers. Yes.
My first
that I ordered a mic.
My first live stream is still up, and it's about 2 to 3 minutes of me on the phone with Joseph before we were even dating, just when we were friends, begging for him to help me figure out why it wasn't working.
Oh.
And I'm literally just sitting on the phone, Pam, talking. I'm like, it's not working. It's not working. I can't do this. Oh, no, I can't do this. And then my phone rings. I ignore it.
It's better than the video that you posted where you could see your reflection in the glass of your tanks and you weren't dressed.
Oh, Lord.
Leona, hi. I feel.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Pam. Good time.
Have your first live stream with no sound.
Oh,
it was like a silent movie. So then a couple months after that, I was a guest on Aquamate's live stream. The first
Josh,
time
right?
I'd done that. And he sent me the link, and I tried and tried and tried, and it wouldn't open, and it wouldn't open, and he was getting frustrated, and I was getting frustrated. So when I finally got on there, I pretended like my sound wasn't working. You know, I was like, he's like, oh no, there's no sound. It was funny because I have a mean streak. Oh, but I'm going to you guys, since there's a bunch of new people in here, because it's my 2-year anniversary of being on YouTube, I'm doing a giveaway, which actually I give away these little cards every week, but during the quarantine, they're my quarantine cards.
Now, can people order custom work from you? Is that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 4, I think, that I'm working on right now. Yes. Anyway, it's a nice giveaway. I'm going to give away some little cards. I had 3 more, but I sold them before the stream started. So that's the way it goes sometimes. But I'm giving away this little frog. It's a dart frog. These are original little drawings. And this little bullfrog sticking his head up out of the water. These are charcoals. And a killdeer. And a portrait of a killdeer.
How long do those take you on average?
About an hour. Some of them longer, some of them a little bit less. And then I'm giving away this limited edition print of an Irish sheep. And this limited edition print called Sisters. And I'm giving away this limited edition print of a bear. And that's my giveaways for tonight.
They're all amazing, but the sheep and the bear are like alive. I love them. The texture is really, really good.
Oh, thank you. I like the sheep because it's different. You know what I mean? But it's probably one of those things that's not for everybody, but I like the sheep.
Yeah. So now, how many tanks are you running at the moment? Because I don't think I actually, even though I watch your videos, I still don't have an exact like.
I shut down and move stuff around, and I had one break. And Ginger Graves, thank you for the $25 super chat via PayPal.
Oh, Ginger.
And
Ginger is easily one of my favorite people. She is such a good lady.
Brian, thank you for the $5 super chat via PayPal.
So now, what exactly happened with your PayPal?
I messed up my AdSense. Oh, Brian sent me, he joined my Patreon too. That's awesome. Thank you. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I messed up my AdSense and then I got it straightened up, but YouTube isn't connecting back with it. So I got to straighten it out. But I'm kind of waiting until this whole mess thing is over because I don't think YouTube is staffed very well right now. So yeah.
I don't think anyone is staffed properly at the moment. I think everyone's
just kind of waiting because I figured it'd be a waste of time right now. So I'm just kind of waiting to do that. So okay, so the rules on the giveaways for everybody in here, because I know there's a bunch of new people in here, is the prints are for U.S. residents only unless you want to pay the shipping. If you're out of the States and you want to pay the shipping, then you can win one. And the little drawings like this are, you don't have to worry about it. I'll ship them anywhere because I can just drop them in a card and ship them. And I'll show you the couple of them that I sold to. This one I sold before the stream started, little chickadee. And this little dart frog I sold before the stream started. And then I also had a drawing of a hawk that I sold before the stream started. And this isn't like I'm doing all the talking and Amber's just sitting there and I've been so looking forward to her being here. But I'll tell you what, we'll do one giveaway and then we're going to ask Amber some questions.
Oh, we're going to ask me questions? Oh, dear.
So we're going to do the first giveaway. And it is going to be open to anybody in the U.S. or anybody anywhere. Because I'm going to give away a little of one of the little drawings. So I don't know what should I do first? I guess I'll give away the bullfrog. So the bullfrog's going to be first. And the way that we do the giveaways is you guess a number between 1 and 100, or actually I do either 1 and 50 or 50 and 100. I write it down. And then whoever gets the closest to that number without going over wins it. And if there's a tie, then we do it again just between the people that tied. So I'm going to write down my first number. And we're going to do the bullfrog. And I'm going to write the number down. And wait till I do start. Wait till I type start. And then and you only get one guess. So you only get to type one number in. Otherwise, it turns into this flying number thing that I can't keep up with at all. So it's going to be between 50 and 100. And I'm going to type start, and then we'll go for it. And this one is for the little drawing of the bullfrog. Oh, I should type start. Okay. Everybody always thinks I'm going to say 69. Why is that?
Because you're Pam.
Maybe they know me too well.
Know you too well or know you just a little bit. Your sense of humor is never in the background. You very much lead with it, and I think it's why everyone loves you.
Frank, hi Frank. Oh, Teresa, hi. Remember, just one guess apiece. And Amber's going to help me look back through. You got to type a number, Frank, not just frog.
Okay, so I'm looking for a number.
Yep, I'm going to type stop here in a minute. Hi, Sharon. Jess is saving her guess for one of the bigger things, I'm assuming. Yes, because that's the other rule. You can only win one thing a night. You can win again next week if you win, but you only get one win a night. Hi, Carver family. How are you? Okay, I'm going to type stop because it looks like everybody's in there. Okay, so the number is number 86. So I got to go back through and see what we've got. So everybody have patience for a moment. Okay, so we got a 49, 55, 63, 98, 52, 99, 63. We're looking for 86. Oh, Daniken got 89, but he went over.
Priscilla.
84 for Big J. Let's see if we've got one closer than 84.
Priscilla got 86.
Priscilla did?
Mm-hmm.
All right, where's she at?
She is like the second or third person to have guessed.
Oh, she did. I see it. I found it.
Yeah, she's the third. Nicely done.
It's Priscilla. Got it on the nose.
Yay,
So Priscilla on Facebook, send me your address. Okay.
Priscilla, I love how you say that like you're starved for good art. you can only do one time. Yes, Priscilla.
Yep, you can only win once.
And you can also go, hey, I think that wall would look good with XYZ, and then you can create that. Unlike me, who has to like go and find stuff that other people have made and be like, it looks nice there. Oh, thank God for Etsy. Thank God for Etsy.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of visiting, and then we'll do another giveaway because I've got 7 giveaway tonight. Yep, Priscilla's another good artist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Amber, how is all the fishing stuff coming along? And you've only got, what, a week until Joseph is there?
A week, maybe a week and a half, most. Yeah, it's happening. It's exciting. It's a little nerve-wracking. I I think mainly I'm concerned because I've already been living here for like 5 months and I already had like 120 some odd tanks set up here.
I was just going to ask you how many you had set up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm worried he's gonna move in and be like, "Hey, this is all just your stuff." But at the same time, the tanks are very much shared. So,
So
no,
is he going to have like a separate room for his fish, or are you both going to like keep them together?
we're gonna mix them together. He doesn't have like a ton of species right now, so it's not that difficult. But I'm sure like he's gonna want to add to that down the line. And truth be told, I kind of may have already found, and he knows about one of them, but I already got him two projects that I found along the way because I was like, oh, these are really cool. These are right up his alley. These are really hard to breed, and they're black water, and they're brack. Okay, the Joseph needs to breed these.
Aha.
So he has a few tanks already, and then he's actually sent all the live bears and a lot of his plants. Those are in quarantine right now.
You get some of the blue tetras?
Not yet. Those I think those are either coming or next. I don't know if he's still in the chat or if he fell asleep, but he can comment to that. I think they're on the way. I think he mailed them out the other day. Yes. Yes, he did. Because I have the tracking on that. Yes, he did.
Awesome.
So those are on the way. Yeah, I don't know what else. He's been sending personal effects. And as for tanks that are set up, right now I'm like right at the home stretch of everything. I've been every day sending a couple, like Jess, Shrimp Granny, I've been sending her pictures of my progress and being like, I'm so close to being done. Because the quarantine room has 18 20 highs and 15 tens.
He says everything arrives tomorrow.
Nice, that's what I thought.
Hi, little fish in the kitchen.
And then the living room has 820 longs, 20 tens, 8 fives, 30 20 highs, 6 40s, a 90, and a 75.
Are they all
And then,
full?
huh?
Are they all full?
No, there's like a half dozen to a dozen that are open. So that should be fun. And then my office, so this room, that rack has 12 tens. And then right behind me, that wall where you can see the random betta eye that is my poster, that's going to have 8 20 longs. 4 are going to be. What?
Oh, I was saying bye to Pusa Studios. Thank you so much.
So yeah, I'm gonna do 820 longs behind me. 4 are gonna be for growing out female domestic bettas, and then 4 are gonna be divided for my adults. And then I have a rack over there with 4 or 5 gallons that I use for like conditioning and after spawning if like the female's taking damage or I need to feed the male up. And then I have a rack right there that holds like 98 1.5 gallon totes. There's a lot of tanks in the house. I'm not quite sure how I managed to fit this bed already. But, and then the utility room has 12 20 highs for live bears and a rack of 12 20 longs for shrimp. And I think that's it. There's like a couple random display cubes around the house, but that's it. I'm pretty sure.
And Maria sent me a $20 super chat. Thank you, Maria Z.
Oh, no, there's a 65 going in the bedroom. That's right. And then that's it.
What are you going to put in that?
I'm going to grow out my baby angels. So you'll appreciate this, Pam. I was having a day. I was having a bad day. I was grumpy. I'm like, my birthday's around the corner, so that was a justification. I had also been drinking quite a bit, but I went on Aquabid and I'm like, screw it. I want to breed angelfish. What are types I like? And I found all the auctions that were ending within like 24 hours. Put my max bid at $20 on like 12 or 13 of them and walked away. Went to bed. Forgot I'd done it.
Oh no.
PayPal requester. Wait, what did I order? Okay, it's And it was aquabid, so I'm like, it must have been my cholla wood, it must have been the catappa leaves, because I had also ordered like a bunch of botanicals during the day, sober. So I just paid a bunch of invoices, wrote it into my notes of expenses, and then angelfish just started showing up at the house, and I was
Oh no!
because all of the emails for aquabid go into a separate folder in my inbox. So I wasn't even getting the emails people were sending me with tracking info. So I literally opened the door one day to the mail guy, because he always knocks on the door, sets it down, and then like walks 20 feet away to make sure I open it. Open the door and he goes, "It's live fish." And I was like, "Oh, great," because I was expecting a box of live fish, and there was 3 boxes. And I went, "Oh no."
Priscilla sent me a super chat too.
Nice.
So Priscilla sent me a $10 super chat. Maria sent me 20. Ginger Graves sent me 25. Brian sent me 5.
Heck yes.
Heck yes. And
Keep
Brian
on YouTube.
also became a Patreon, which is just awesome.
And that comes with art perks, doesn't it? Yes. I'm a terrible co-host. I don't remember what they are. Chattanooga Ed would know the whole like line right now of what all your Patreon benefits are.
My Patreon is from $1 up. Anybody that's on my Patreon gets first choice of anything I finish. I put it on Patreon first. And that includes, that's why a couple of the little cards for the giveaway were sold tonight. Because Patreons get first choice of anything and everything that I do. After, say, if I've got a big drawing or something, that after a couple days, if nobody like jumps on it, then I put it on Facebook and try to sell it there. Okay, so that's actually a pretty big Patreon perk, because I sell a lot of cards before they ever hit my giveaways. So if you guys want to get in on some of the best cards, you should be on Patreon. Okay? And then from $25 and up, about 4 times a year, you get a limited edition print, which I just sent out a bunch of those to my Patreons that are at that level. For $50 and up, you get an original drawing once a year. And for $100 and up, you get an original oil painting once a year. So that's my stuff. Yeah, the cards sell quick. And sometimes, like I haven't put any of the giveaways on Facebook yet, because a lot of times if I put them on Facebook, they sell real quick too. So, but Patreon always gets first choice.
Nice.
Ginger says, Amber, where are my wild bettas being kept?
Some of them are in the lab. Some of them are actually with friends who are also breeders at the moment. So when this whole thing went down, I did split up part of my collection, some of the rare things that I trust other people to work with right now, just in case I were to get sick. Like, honestly, being someone with a compromised immune system, I did have a huge fear of like, what if I end up in the hospital? How am I going to tell somebody how to take care of 100 really obscure wild betta species, over 100 separate fish tanks, over 30 snakes, 5 different types of lizards. I have frogs. So
you have frogs? What kind of frogs do you have?
I have Vietnamese mossy frogs and Tonkin bug-eyes, and the blueback reed frogs.
Nice.
I honestly, not gonna lie, I originally got the Vietnamese mossy frogs because the mimicry is really cool. And growing up in Vermont, there were always peep toads or peep frogs in the pond across the road. And I have this like very nostalgic thing for just little like peep frogs. And I thought, oh, these will be beautiful. You know, they'll sound amazing. Got them. They didn't make a sound for the first 6 months I had them. And then I was living in a shoebox apartment in Harlem with paper thin walls, and they started vocalizing.
Oh, no.
And the sound that chordata make is not like a little peep. It's this high-pitched, rapid hoot that's really, really loud. Like, it's not just high-pitched. It carries. Like, I swear there were several times I thought my neighbors were going to come through the door and skin me alive because it was 2 a.m. and I had a male who at the top of his little lungs, all of this big, was just hooting and like doing this loud, high-pitched, like almost grasshopper chirp. Ooh, Pam.
I'm okay.
Are you social distancing, Pam?
I need a cigarette.
Jeez.
That's what it is.
This is like a conversation with Haley. Jesus. It's like when I tell her to drink water and she's like, I'm drinking coffee. I'm like, that is not water. She's like, it's bean water. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yes, it is. Coffee is filtered water.
Oh,
Coffee is filtered water. It counts.
Somebody asked if I sell frogs. I do not sell frogs. I sell everything aquatic that I breed. I have, well, not this year because there was no brumation, but I usually sell Western hognose. They're a lot of fun. They're a fun little snake. I don't know if you're at all familiar with them. Pam? No.
Actually.
So they're pretty cool. There's an Eastern hognose, but basically they're known for being master actors. So they have several defense mechanisms that are very cool. They were actually my favorite snake to bring out, even compared to like the big boys when I used to do education programs.
Yeah.
Because
are they the ones that like play dead?
They
Like,
do.
Play
So
dead?
we have a lot of really cool, unique things.
Before.
So they're the only snake that is both poisonous and venomous, meaning if you like try to bite it or eat it, it actually has a poison in it from the toads that it eats in the wild that will kill you. Like if you ingest a hognose snake, it will kill you. If you're a predator, I'm not a human.
But I imagine that you have to eat certain things. It's like the dart frogs are not actually poisonous because they have to they're poisonous in the wild when they eat specific bugs. But when you keep them as a pet, they aren't poisonous.
I'm trying to fix whatever happened to my camera. Oh, there I am. Cool. It just kind of
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
I've had some people want me to do some little cards of snakes, but I don't have any photographs of snakes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I have the Western hoggies.
Perfect. Headshot.
I have the hoggies. I have a rescued corn snake. I have a rescued ball python and 2 boa constrictors, one of which belongs to Zach from SC Fish Keeping, which I still need to get back to him. But no, hoggy.
What color's your my mind just went blank.
Corn snake?
Yeah.
The corn snake is orange and yellow. She's albino mix. It's actually kind of funny. She's oh, Dad. So my father is deathly afraid of snakes. He has been my entire life, and I've always been the kid who would catch a garter snake and drag it over to the family, like this thing the size of a garden hose, and be like, "Look, I named it Bernie." And my dad would lose his freaking mind and be like, "Throw it in the fire." So
oh no.
I have the friendliest corn snake. Like, you put your finger on the glass and she doesn't think it's food, but she will come up and see what's up with it. And if she hears any noise in the bathroom, she will do a little, almost like cobra pose, where she just lifts herself up. So you see her. She wants you to see her and pay attention to her. She's very friendly. I also have a lot of plants in that bathroom. There's a full-size bamboo plant, palm tree, and then I have pothos covering the entire medicine cabinet over the toilet. And my father was here a few weeks back when I first got back from the big fish deal. And he's like, "Can I use the bathroom?" I'm like, "Sure, it's over there." And he's in there, and I'm like, "Whatever, I'm just doing my thing." No. I hear this yell. I hear this, "What the hell?" And then I hear, "Freaking jungle in here." And then he comes dashing out of the bathroom, sweaty. I'm like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "You've got vines in there. You've got a freaking snake. What are you doing?" I'm like, plants? Daddy's like, they're everywhere. This is stupid. It's like a jungle. It's like 50 degrees in here. I'm like, well, it's 76. Daddy's like, it's too hot. He like went outside pretending it wasn't the snake he was upset about. He was actually upset that his almost 30-year-old kid has a house full of plants. Like, he's standing out there sweating. I'm looking at him, and I see him like look at his hand, and it's shaking, and he like really shaking hard wipes the sweat off his bald head. I'm like, oh, Dad, you'll be okay. I felt so bad because I didn't even think to warn him.
I had friends years ago, and she had like a ton of house plants, and she had a chameleon.
Oh.
And it was just in the house plants all the time. She never put it in its cage. It was just always like wrapped around the house plant looking for bugs, which is kind of cool. Now, what color is your ball python?
He is yellow and gray. I've been asking people what.
Is it like one of the banana ones?
No, the best guess someone came up with is a lemon blast something. We don't know. He was a rescue. I found him on Craigslist a few months back. The people were asking for $20 for him, but I saw the pictures and I was like, So I emailed them and I was like, look, I'm not going to pay you for this snake, but I will take it and make sure that it has a better life than what I'm seeing here, in nicer words, obviously. But they said no, and then 2 weeks later they came back and they were like, yeah, just come get it. And it'd been living in a 10-gallon for a year and a half. They had fed it once.
What?
Once because they were afraid of it.
Oh my God.
And they were trying to say how it wouldn't eat frozen thawed, so they didn't, they were afraid because feeding it live made it want to bite at people. It's never snapped at me. It's hissed quite a few times, but it's also terrified.
It might bite at you because it's starving to death.
No, he eats perfectly fine, and he's never bit at me. It's people.
No, I'm talking about when they had him.
Yeah, people are.
They only fed him once in a year.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, but they can do that because they have an extremely slow metabolism.
Yeah, but that's still not right.
Oh, absolutely not. But unfortunately, if you look at a lot of reptiles and how they're being kept and handled, more often than not, it's not an ideal situation for them. But this was definitely like abuse, like just full on abuse.
Yeah, that is full on abuse because snakes, I remember my daughter had one, and when it wasn't shedding, we fed it once a week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was ready to eat once a week. When it was shedding, it would lose its appetite, till it was done shedding. But once
depending on the snake, I mean, hobbies would like to be fed twice a week. I mean, they actually want to eat every single day because they're pigs, but they should be fed twice a week. It depends on the species, but I mean, we had Burmese pythons at the rescue I worked at. My favorite one was an 18-foot female named Poppy. She was really, really sweet, and she would eat frozen rabbits. So she would either get one frozen rabbit or 3 frozen guinea pigs once every, I think, 6 weeks was her schedule. But that's like the longest any of the snakes would go, was 6 weeks. And she was getting fed the equivalent of like a third of my body. So
I don't think I could feed the guinea pigs. The rabbits doesn't bother me, but I've had guinea pigs. I used to raise guinea pigs, and I don't think I could feed them.
I've had guinea pigs too. That's why I'd be fine. The middle of the night when they're doing that little like oh my God.
I always do it whenever you open the refrigerator door. You open up the refrigerator and you hear wee, 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 wee.
It was my first ever apartment on my own, and it was teeny tiny, 1 bedroom, and my best friend at the time's boyfriend, who she lived with, dumped her, and she had a guinea pig, and they moved in with me. It was named Phyllis Diller, and that thing was evil. In the middle of the night, it would be like shrieking and making happy noises and just squealing and chewing on her cage. And if you got up to pee, it would get so much worse after you got back to bed because she'd be like, wait, now I know you're awake.
When I was a kid, my parents weren't really animal people, but they let me get a hamster. And it promptly got moved out to the garage because of the wheel at night. Because the old hamster cages always had like a metal wheel in them.
And it
Hamsters
squeaked.
would run on the wheel and the wheel would squeak. Just a
Hmm.
constant squeaking noise all night long. And it got moved out to the garage because it was driving my parents nuts. Okay,
So
should we do another giveaway, do you think? Let me see. It's almost 10 and I got a lot to give away yet.
I do want to ask you about Daisy's rice fish, though, because at some point tonight, because those are the next tank that I'm like
Oh,
scaping out,
nice. Yeah.
and yours are really, really prolific. So I want to know how you.
Mine aren't that prolific because if I wanted to breed a bunch of them, like if I was purposely setting out, I wanted like a bunch of them to sell and stuff,
Mhm.
I would have them in a tank with no plants, and I would put in um, breeding mops because they lay all over the tank. But what I do, because I don't really care how many I get, is I'll drop a ball of moss in there for about a week and then pull the ball of moss out, and I'll usually get 20 to 30 babies that way or more.
Interesting.
But if I was really serious and wanted hundreds of babies, I would do it with spawning mops and no plants. Because I know that although they're laying all over the moss, they're also laying all over all the other plants in the tank too.
Hmm. Yeah, because the females carry like the little cluster of eggs, and then they
Yeah,
just
they
kind of
carry the
leave
whole
them
cluster
wherever,
of eggs
right?
and then they deposit them on plants. Yeah.
They're
And
like tiny little grapes. I love
some
it.
people do okay with having the parents in the tank, but your best bet is to pull the eggs because when they hatch, the babies go right up to the surface and then the adults will pick them off. If they were like would hatch and hide in the plants, it'd be different, but they go right up to the surface.
I'm sorry I'm being rude. I'm trying to become a Patreon. I'm sitting here. I literally just had someone text me to get off my phone, but I'm trying to join your Patreon.
Oh, well, that would be sweet.
I didn't even know you had one, or I already would have joined, and now I get art benefits. Are you kidding me? Yes, please. I can't make my own art. Plus, I really do like, I can't say it enough how much I appreciate the amount of texture in your art. It makes it like very palpable almost. Like you could reach out and touch it and it would feel the way it looks. I love that. I think that's really
Textures. Yeah, you should see some of my oil paintings are like real thick paint too. So
all right. Now I'm done with my phone. Dang it. Why can't I just PayPal it?
I
I
should
can.
do I should do a video of how to like do fur and stuff, huh? Shouldn't I?
I would absolutely love if you did like an art paint along thing because it wouldn't be good. It would arguably not even be art, whatever I created at the end of it, but it would still be really fun to try because my friends and I in college, we would definitely drink way too much moonshine and then try to follow Bob Ross tutorials with like
Oh no.
store acrylic.
There's no
Remember?
mistakes. Remember, there's no mistakes. We just got happy little birds.
Like, yeah, I was just gonna say the number of times my poor roommate Annie would come in from her night shift and it'd be me and like four of my friends in the living room, and I'd turn around and be like, "We got happy little trees, man, happy little trees."
Yeah, yeah.
Can't ever go to bed. She just wants to go to sleep. Comes in. Oh no, no, oh no, no. We're having art class. Did it work?
Okay, so I'm gonna do a giveaway real quick.
All right, I'm gonna join your
Probably
Patreon.
wasn't the best
Using my
for you
brain.
co-host because first we got like all those people coming in from a raid, which I've never had before. That was pretty sweet. And then I've got all this art to give away, and yeah. But I'm gonna do a giveaway real quick here, and I'm gonna give away. And remember, Amber, you can do it too. I'm gonna give away the Irish Bell.
Ooh.
I wish there wasn't so much shine all the time, but if I back up, it still looks light, but you can
I
kind of,
love the amount of expression you got in his face.
that's the most important thing to me, no matter what I'm drawing, is to try to capture personality.
Yeah, you definitely did with that one. I really like the it. It feels weird to say, but I like the look in his eye. Like he has a very flinty look about him. I like it. Yay! No
So I'm going to
pooping.
think of a number here. Mm, Okay, I've thought of my number, and it's going to be between 1 and 50. And for anybody that doesn't know the rules, I write down a number. Everybody gets one guess, and the person that comes closest to that number without going over wins a piece. Now, the prints, because they would cost a lot to ship overseas, are for US only unless you are willing to pay the shipping. If you want it and you're willing to pay the shipping, then you can guess. But other than that, it has to be for US residents because of that. So okay, the number's gonna be between 1 and 50, and I'm gonna type in start.
Candy is right on top of the rules.
One guess piece. I don't know if I said that or not. Frank guesses spoon. And Frank's the winner with spoon. Yay! Hi, Susan. Hi, Hat Trick Farm. Okay, is everybody about done? All right, Dragonlair, cool.
Dragon Lair. I had a split second where my brain went, wait, what? Not gonna lie. Like, hang on. Oh.
Okay, I'm going to give it another few seconds. Good morning, Jamie. Guess a number between 1 and 50. Okay, I'm going to type stop. Everybody got their numbers in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So the number is number 4. So whoever came closest to number 4 without going over is going to win the print of the sheep, which is Irish Bell. Mad Guy got 1.
It's looking like Chevy Fish at 3 is the closest.
That's kind of, I remember seeing that go by, and I think that's going to be it. Because I did something different this time and went really low.
So everyone just gets a good view of the top of my head. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat, guys. I'm real bad at this.
I do believe it's Chevy Fish. Yep, that's the closest one that I see. So, Chevy Fish, you need to send me your mailing address to my email.
Pam, I have a problem. I just toggled away from the chat onto the open tab for Aquabid. because I wanted to see if anything new had been posted.
You have no problem.
I had a legitimate problem, Pam, because
are
I
my
had
co-host. And you're buying fish while you're live with me.
No. I was just, I don't know. It was a reaction. It was an automatic reaction sitting at my computer. Click open
Be sure to Chevy Fish. Be sure to copy and paste if you spell it wrong. It won't go through. But yeah, send me your mailing address.
I wasn't necessarily going to buy anything. Everyone in the chat was judging me. I was just, you know.
Thank you for becoming a Patreon, Amber.
Yeah, you're welcome. Like I said, I would have earlier. I just didn't know it was an option. Also, now it means I get dibs on cards. I mean, not dibs, but closer to buying them than when I see them on Facebook. And it's like, God damn it, Jesse, you buy everything. Of course you bought that one too. This is what I get for buying the pipe fish out from you too.
Actually, if you want a card, you got to be fast, because if Ginger sees it first, she's gonna buy it.
Oh, dang it, Ginger. It's Bob Killer Patreon too. Because I can't compete with them.
Bob's on there too, but he's a little bit slower. Ginger's usually the fastest one. Today, Marie beat her to one of them.
Oh, Holly Gibbs doesn't know what Aquabid is. Girl, I'm going to change your life right now. So Aquabid is a website for breeders, hobbyists, really anyone who wants to go on and either buy or sell aquatic livestock, driftwood, breeding supplies, you name it. It can be hit or miss, like, because it is unvetted, just like anybody can sell stuff on there. It can be absolute garbage. Like, I bought angelfish from a guy who I was like, he's legit. He wrote a book. He did me dirty with what I paid for those original angels. That's why I did the drunken auctions the one night and got a bunch of good angels, because I'd already gotten a group of crappy angels and I was so sad about it. But by the way, the summary of that story was that I won 8 out of those 12 or 13 auctions.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you, so what kind of angelfish did you get?
Oh, what didn't I get? I got blue pinoys, zebras, clowns, gold blushings, gold pearl, blue platinum Philippines. And
so how many did you get of each one?
Huh?
How many did you get of each kind?
It varies. Total.
You sound guilty.
Well, grand total, there's a group of like 50 baby angels growing out. Joseph, I'm sorry. I sound guilty because I've been avoiding this and waiting for him to show up and be like, what the hell did you do? I drunk aquabitted and I won a lot of stuff.
Joseph says she is guilty.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like the day I called him and I was like, so I got some 300-gallon stop tubs and I'm making ponds for the garage for my Oscars. We now have 9 Oscars. And he was like, wait, what?
9 Oscars now?
I mean, this feels like confessions of a like, I feel incredibly guilty.
Confessions of a fish keeper. You could write
I seriously feel like
confessions of a fish keeper.
Oh goodness. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, see, so it started with the initial 2 that I fell in love with, and then one got sick, and I had a full-on meltdown because my brain went, what if I lose Larry? Then Gary's going to die out of depression and sadness. I need to get more. So then I got Terry and Jerry. And then I found Gerald and fell in love with him. So there's the 5 domestics. And then there were these wild black Oscars at Big Fish Deal in Maryland that were absolutely amazing. And I begged Joseph, and much to my surprise, he was like, yeah, no, you're good. Just whatever you want to do. And I was like, oh, you won't regret that. And I got 4, and now I have plans on when I'm able to, when people are able to fly and travel, I want to get Haley to come down and help me do like insulated cons because there's this fireplace in the garage that there's like this old fireplace that Joseph doesn't get it, but I'm obsessed with it. I don't know why I love it so much. I just think it's so cool. It's a 1930s fireplace in the garage. It's so random. And I want to do a pond on each side so I can go and like sit out there.
Nice.
The Oscars and have my own little like quiet space. I think that'd be cool. We'll see.
If you get any more fish, you will never have any quiet time ever again. Ever, ever.
I mean, well, and like to be fair, and the Bashirs at some point, like I have Bashirs growing out, and in like a couple years they're gonna need a 300-gallon
Stock tank.
stock pond. So to be fair, my thought process for now was I'd grow out all the Oscars together, and then when they hit sexual maturity, I'd pull the blacks and the domestics into 2 separate 300s and let the blacks pair off because I do want to breed those if possible, because they're really, really cool. And it's like the first time they've brought them into the US, so nobody even really knows what they look like as adults. And then my thought is to move that pair into like a 150 and move the other 2 remainders back with the domestics and just have the Oscar pond, and then move the Bashirs that at that point will probably be Bashirs into the other 300, because I really like to have a plan for my fish that I know are going to get big. I don't feel comfortable growing them out if I don't have a plan for them.
Yeah, stock tanks work good too.
Yep, I got a bunch of the 100-gallon Rubbermaid stock tubs for the gardens. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, Jess Shrimp Granny just said I probably won't stop getting fish. I definitely won't stop getting fish. I'll just get more space for fish. And then eventually I'll just get employees. That's why I've made this a business.
You don't need an employee. You've got Joseph. You say, okay, Joseph, I want you to clean these 2 rooms tanks tonight.
Oh, no. That's definitely not how this is going to go. It's going to be more like, wait, you want to clean a tank? Hang on. I'm not used to this situation. You want to help me clean? Because I'm so used to doing it on my own. It's actually going to be really weird handing over responsibility. Like, I totally trust him to do everything perfectly. It's Joseph. He's as good, if not better, at fish keeping than I am. But at the same time, it's going to be weird to be like, oh wait, I'm not. This is someone else is helping me now. What is this? Oh, Joseph just saying they're going, yeah. That's true. I have to say, I do remember one time.
That one. No, I'll do that one myself. No, I'll do that one myself.
Living with an ex once, the apartment got flooded because I asked him to turn off my Python. I literally said, "Can you turn off the sink?" Because it was same day delivery on an Amazon item, and I don't remember what the service is called, but they sucked. When you live in friggin' New York City, you do not leave a package outside of the building on the curb without ringing the bell. It's not going to be there in 5 minutes. That was the case so many times. So yeah, I was like, hey, can you turn the sink off real quick? Went running down, got locked out of the front door, started talking to a neighbor, went back in like 20 minutes later. He was still back playing on his computer in the bedroom, and the entire living room was just water.
Oh no.
Down one board. And I will say, I never heard anything about it. The downstairs neighbors never said anything about like a leak in the sink. I don't know where all that water went, Pam. Like, no idea where it went. And these people were not afraid to come up and like knock on the door. I can't tell you how many times there was a bug in the cockroaches. New York City cockroaches are no joke. The first time I saw one in the apartment, my brain literally went, oh my God, it's a hummingbird. Because
that's the way they were in Texas.
Well, they fly. They fly too.
I saw one, and I saw this bug on the floor, and it was huge. And I went to kill it, and it ran and ducked and ran and ducked. I'm going, that's a cockroach. I know that's a goddamn cockroach, but it was huge, right? So I told the actually, it was my sister-in-law that I don't speak to anymore, but I told her that there was a cockroach in the house because I was renting from them. And she's like, "Oh no, there's no cockroaches in my house. That's a water beetle." I was like, "Uh-huh."
Yeah, and they fly. I still call them cockroaches. I don't care, but they fly. I didn't know they fly, and I had a cat at the time who was like a bug killer, and I'll never forget it because it was out in the hallway, and I could hear it like making noise as it fluttered like along the ceiling.
Oh god.
And I stepped over and glanced down, and I'm like, "How did a hummingbird get in here?" And the cat comes running out, and he was a Maine Coon, so he was very vocal. Comes running out and made this little like noise and stopped and like slowly backed up, and his fur started getting big, and we're just sitting there in horror as I'm realizing it's a bug. And my friend who was like in the bathroom steps out right near where it is, and she had been living in New York like her whole life, and I had only been there a few months, and I hated it. I was miserable. I was depressed. I just missed my trees. And now I was confronted with the fact that there were bugs the size of freaking mice flying around. And she was just like, "Oh, it's a cockroach." And I start screaming bloody murder. The downstairs neighbors came up and knocked on the door. The upstairs neighbors came down and knocked on the door. Like, we had the super come over 30 minutes later because I didn't stop screaming for like 2 minutes. I didn't stop screaming until it was in the vacuum in the hallway because that's how I dealt with cockroaches. Because it worked once. Literally, one time my ex came home to find me with the vacuum. I was holding the vacuum up because the hose only reached so far on the vacuum. I'm holding the vacuum in my hand, trying not to like drop it on myself, holding the hose and like stabbing at a cockroach, all the while screaming my freaking lungs out. And I finally got the damn thing in the vacuum in the hallway.
I've done that before because I freaking hate spiders. I hate spiders so much that I don't even want to get close enough to kill them.
That's why I have a handheld dust buster somewhere in this house. It's for bugs. No. I had a dubia roach colony at one point in my bedroom for my lizards. That's fine. I didn't have to touch them. They couldn't fly. That's fine. They weren't crawling around my home. Thank God. Or the rat.
I mind most bugs. It's just I freaking hate spiders. I hate spiders.
I don't hate them. I appreciate them for what they are. They just give me the heebie-jeebies, and I
feel like I have them. If I see one, I feel like they're crawling all over me.
Exactly. But I don't hate them. Like, I hate mosquitoes. The sound of mosquitoes makes me want to.
One of my daughters is always like taking pictures of big spiders that she'll find in her house, and she will catch them and release them outside. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I'd burn that fucking house down.
I once lived in it, and this is why I was a fish keeper, Pam, so this should tell you how serious this was. I had a full basement in my half of the duplex I was living in, but we had a wolf spider that was, counting its legs, probably the size of like a Maxwell coffee can lid. Like, this thing was huge. And the first time I went down in the basement, I'm just remembering it. I'm like getting bothered, but I flipped the light on, and there was this dark thing over on the side of the room, and it like did this really fast like spin and shuffle, and I was like, "What the hell? What the hell?" And I, like human curiosity, I kind of got a little bit closer, and it lifted up its front legs and like lunged at me, and I don't think I stopped screaming until I was upstairs, and like my roommate was literally shaking. Like, what is wrong? And I was just like, holy shit, it's a monster. It must have babies. I remember screaming, it must have babies. And she went down, and she was like a hardened Vermont farm girl that I once watched her literally snap the neck of a rooster because it was being nasty to the hens, and her mom was like, get rid of it, and she was just like, okay. But the spider, she goes down and she comes up screaming a minute later. She's like, fuck it, it can have the basement. And the entire time we lived there, we didn't use the basement. We would go down here and there to check, and there was one point where there was 3 of them, like in separate areas of the basement. We had to go down because the boiler wasn't. Some guy had to fix our boiler, Pam. And like Jordana refused to leave the stairs. I didn't want to walk the rest of the way. And when the guy was down there after 5 minutes, he yells up. He would not work on our boiler unless somebody was standing there watching to make sure a spider didn't get him. Because I'm not even being over dramatic when I say these were the biggest spiders I've ever actually seen. And like I've seen tarantulas in Arizona. The spread on the legs of these wolf spiders was bigger.
Oh my God. I saw a spider. My daughter, when she was like 4, she came out of her room and she said, Mommy, there's a big spider on my bookshelf. So I'm like, okay, I'll get it. I got a paper towel and I walked over, and at first I literally thought this thing was a goddamn toy spider because it was like that big.
Oh.
And it was yellow and black. And when it took every bit of me to kill that thing, and it crunched really loud, and I'm just.
No.
She asked me what kind of a spider. I told her it was a BMF spider.
What?
BMF, like big motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't.
That's what kind of spider it was.
Oh, shit. I think the worst spider experience for me wasn't the size. It was how it happened. I was eating green grapes from Cuba. I was like 13, and I didn't actually eat grapes again until college. I was eating these grapes, and sometimes like when you're not thinking about like berries and grapes and just foods that you can kind of roll in your hand as you like pull them off the stem, you kind of roll it between your fingers and then throw it in your mouth. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's what I do. And I picked a grape off and I was like just fiddling with it, and it felt squishy.
Oh no, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this.
And I looked down, and it was a spider the same size as one of these big green grapes, with its like legs curled up alive, just looking at me, roughly the color of the grapes. And I threw it on the ground and screamed, and it's the only time I've ever actually gotten on the back of the couch, but I was on the back of the couch against the wall. My parents have a picture with glass on that wall, and the glass is still cracked from me like throwing myself against it. My mother comes in, and my mom was like an ER nurse. Like, mom had an ability to handle situations even like after her car accident. It was just amazing. And she literally looked at me and goes, Jesus Christ, Amber. Grabs the shoe and like
spiders. Oh God.
Pam, when she hit it, it exploded, and it was just like juice everywhere. I was freaking out. I went and looked in the bag, and I'm like, oh, they're from Cuba. It was a Cuban spider. I almost died. And I was just like, I'm never eating grapes again. And my sister came home like around the time the end of this happened, and she only seeing the thing on the floor and hearing my story, I think up until like her mid-30s wouldn't eat grapes, because my sister's a little more over the top than I am. But we were both just like, no.
I got it in the middle of the night one night to go to the bathroom, and I had on slippers, and I walked in the bathroom, and there was a big spider on the floor. Okay. There's a big spider right in the middle of the floor. So I stepped on it.
Were you barefoot?
No, I had
on yelling at you.
Slippers. I stepped on it, and it made a crunching noise. And baby spiders sprayed out both sides.
No.
They were all over the walls and everything.
Oh no.
Oh. It was awful.
So my dad's fear of snakes comes from my grandpa. And when I was a little kid, he was like my hero. So I was like, it's just like Indiana Jones. He's afraid of snakes too. But really, it was just being a big old pussy. And I remember one time I caught a garter snake, and she was super fat. And I brought it back to summer camp, and I was all proud of myself, showing everyone. And my grandfather had thrown himself up into his truck, was refusing to come out of it, told me to let it go. And when I released her, the bastard ran it over with his truck.
Oh, no.
And like my little heart's breaking. I'm literally already crying because I named her Ruthie. I don't know why I remember, but her name was Ruthie. And I was so upset. But when he ran her over, her side split, and like it was like, I swear it was hundreds of babies. It seemed like hundreds of babies just came crawling out. And my grandfather in the truck, jerk, had just ran this snake over thinking, oh, it's over with. And now all of a sudden he sees all these little ones just scurrying everywhere. And I'm all excited, like, ah, grabbing them up. They're all like goopy and gross. And I'm like, yeah, more snakes. And he's in his truck just letting out this long, continuous wail of horror. He stayed in his truck drinking Crown Royal for like 2 hours because he had a bottle in there and he's like, I'm not coming out. Screw it. Oh, it's horrifying when they do that.
One time though, I was at an art show and I had a booth set up. And I was sitting outside the booth painting, and I thought I saw a bird fly into my tent thing, my gazebo thing. So I go in there, and it's this giant moth, and that thing had a wingspan about like that. I mean, it was huge, right? And my daughter caught it and put it into like one of those little zip up coolers that holds like 3 or 4 beers or whatever, the little lunchbox coolers.
Mm-hmm.
She put it in there, and then she decided she was going to take it and show everybody. And there was booths, like there's a walkway and booths set up all up and down the walkway.
Oh no.
So she, thank you, Stingray Steve. So she does, she's like showing it to everybody. And she got down to a booth on the end. It had a bunch, it was Chinese food. And it had like probably 8 little Chinese women in there. And she unzipped it and opened it up to show them, and it flew out.
Oh.
And they all started screaming and like grabbing cardboard boxes and batting the air and screaming and running in all directions. It was actually pretty funny.
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear, that was kind of mean, but I shouldn't laugh, but it was pretty funny.
Mark Von Wisco, this house is actually just 100 years old. It was built in 1920. I still don't want spiders. I would rather the little house millipede, centipede, whatever they are. I would rather those over spiders.
Yeah, spiders are the only bug that I'm really, really scared of. I do not like spiders. I do not like spiders.
I'm also allergic to spiders. So I've definitely had those moments where you wake up, go into the bathroom, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm like a quarter Kardashian because your lips like the size of a golf ball.
I've gotten spider bites in the middle of the night, too. It sucks.
Yep.
And I swear to God that my nerves are so on edge. Like if you see a spider and then you go to bed, it's like you can wake up from a dead-ass sleep and feel something crawl on your leg.
Yeah. My older sister, when I was a little kid, similar to spiders, but like I had a severe fear of ladybugs because there was one time she held me down, shoved one up my nose, and had me convinced it was going to lay babies.
Oh no, ladybugs are cute.
Yeah, this one, it came out in pieces. Like, I had a terrible headache for like 3 days, and then my mom finally used a neti pot on me, and pieces of like bug. Oh. No.
Okay, I'm going to do a giveaway again because I've got a lot to give away tonight. So I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away the dart frog next. This one right here. We're going to do that giveaway next. And it's going to be a number between 1 and 50. You get one guess. Whoever gets closest without going over wins the little drawing. It's a little charcoal drawing. And I can send it anywhere in the world, so it doesn't matter where you live. One guess per person, and it's going to be a number between 1 and 50. And I'm going to type start. Yeah, I did, Chevy Fish. I emailed you back, actually. And only one winner. You can only win one per night. We better throw that in there, too, in case someone wins, too. Okay, are we ready? Okay, it's a number between 1 and 50.
Oh, I really enjoy the answer, Hobbit. Thank you, Frank. Your sense of humor is appreciated.
Okay, are we about done? Done? I'm going to type in stop. Okay, so the number is 19. And I believe that 307 is the only one that got it exactly. 307 Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
Got it on the nose. So I know I have your address, but send it to me again. No, Frank. send it to me again so I don't have to look for it. So I'm gonna put in my email address. Okay. See, now, is that right? Candy beat me to typing my own email address.
Probably Candy's magic.
I mean, she beat me.
She didn't type it in.
Address.
She just like willed it into existence because she is Candy.
Okay, so 307 Wyoming won the dart frog. So we still have the 2 killdeers and 2 prints to give away. So let's talk some more and then we'll give away something else.
Sean says because Candy is AI. Candy is not AI. Candy is magic. Candy is a human being with magic.
And I used to be a secretary, and I type pretty fast, but Candy still beats me.
How did I just see your mug? That's fantastic, Pam.
You never seen my mug before?
I want to be you when I grow up.
It's my Have a Nice Day mug. And then
oh, I love it. Which, by the way, I don't know how I feel about the level of like growing up. I was okay with turning 30, but then like 2-3 weeks ago, before I went into isolation, whenever that was, I was stocking up on booze. And not only did they not card me, but the girl called me ma'am twice.
Oh no.
And it was a place I don't frequent. Like, it made me feel awful.
Yes, I gifted Candy. I gifted Candy one of those mugs because I figured with her dealing with emails and angry people and stuff all day,
Yeah.
she needed that mug so she could just like smile to herself while she told them to have a nice day.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Can I ask you how old you are? Because you don't look very old.
Me?
Yes.
I'll be 30 in like a week and a half.
See, you're still a kid. At the end of next month, I'm going to be 65. 65.
You don't look it, Pam. I would be proud of that. I feel like once you reach a certain age, if you don't look your age, you should be proud about that age.
I look every bit of my 65.
And I appreciate you saying that. I so appreciate you saying that because that girl calling me ma'am really shook my world. No! And she was like some tiny little college girl too. And I'm just like, oh, you little. How dare you? Oh, shoot. I'll be fine. I'm just hoping airports stay open so I can actually like spend my birthday with Joseph. That's kind of really all I want for my birthday.
When is your birthday?
May 2nd.
May 2nd? Oh, it's coming up pretty quick.
Yes. Yes. Oh, it's a number. It's fine. It's fine. I started finding silver hairs at like 20. I have one spot, like right here, where just a bunch of silver hairs like to just grow. And if I don't pluck them, it's like this weird like trailer park Marvel Rogue thing, Rogue, but it's not well done, but it looks like it's intentional. It's not.
You could be, what was her name? Morticia?
Oh my god!
Nice little streak going on there.
Holy crap. I'm picturing the outfit. Good lord. Oh.
Yes, Joseph, you'd better be there by her birthday and take her out someplace nice.
There's no place to go out to.
Oh, that's right. You can't go anyplace nice.
Yes.
I forgot briefly. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I did initially last year, I was like, for my 30th, I want to do something like Hawaii. I want to be on a beach. And then it was like, well, maybe I'll go visit Joseph and just turn 30 on his beach. And now it's like, well.
And now instead of being on his beach, you are good. Oh, I can't say it. It would be too mean. Never mind.
Pam. Holy crap, Pam.
You know what I was gonna say, don't you?
I don't. You've lost me, Pam. I can't even right now. Oh,
sorry.
Fish. Were we going to talk about
fish? In my mind, and I have this bad habit where words in my mind, they just.
You are simultaneously the best in the world. I needed that laugh. Thank you. Oh shit. I still don't know what to say. So yeah, now I'm just gonna turn 30 at home. I don't know what to say anymore. I appreciate you stopping yourself, Pam.
I was gonna say I stopped myself. Hey.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yes. So I wanted to be somewhere tropical. Who knows? The poor neighbors might get treated to a fantastic view of me instead of being on a beach with suntan lotion just like covered in coconut oil laying on like a little patch of carob seed that I spread out, just like pretending to be. They're gonna look over and be like, "What?"
I didn't say it, Dan. Dan says I broke it.
Yeah, for a minute there. Didn't know what to say. I was trying so hard to find something in the chat, and I'm just like, "Damn, what was that?" Damn. Poor Joseph has just run away at this point. He's like, "Nah, I'm going to bed. Somebody will tell me tomorrow if anything happens."
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. That's oh my god. No, you're my favorite. Oh shoot. No, Jesse, coconut oil is very useful. You can cook with it. It's a good moisturizer. Like it has a million different uses, I will say. Oh my god, though, my neighbors, they already think I'm insane. Like if you could see. So it looks like daylight right now because I have 3 different lights. I have a webcam, I have a microphone, and the back of this seat does not allow them in the house right over yonder, like directly this level, to see what I'm doing. Over here, they can just see all the lights and the camera. And I'm sure at this point they can see it through this flimsy little like tapestry that I use like, as a curtain, and they're like, "Oh, that's what she does to earn her money." Oh God. Oh, Joseph did run away. Good for him.
Night, Moonstone.
So fish. What new fish did you get? Any new fish?
Not me. I don't have any. I don't have any new fish at all. No new fish. I'm starting to get the itch, so I might have to order something here pretty soon.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this, because I've never actually had to sneak fish in. It's always just been like, oh yeah, it's been there a while. You didn't notice it? Because like usually the person I'm with doesn't take any interest in my tanks really, or they don't keep track of things. So like I've never had to explain in the past why I spent $300 on stone at the LFS, because it's like, I got my tax returned. What does any adult do? Pay their bills? Hell no. I'm going to go buy some dragon stone.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah, I'm going to need to figure out how to like... Because he's going to pay attention to tanks.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
he's even saying now he's going to need to be vigilant. Is he though? Do you though? Do you really? See, that's my thing. It's like you could have it one of two ways. You could have a girlfriend who just like absolutely hates your hobby and is like, "Why do you do this? This is stupid. No tanks in the house."
The problem is he knows fish, so you can't do something like, where'd that puffer come from? Oh, the Oscars bred finally! Yay!
See, no, I'd never lie. I would just stretch the truth and then distract. So I'd always be like, oh, yeah, I've had that one for a while. Did you see these guys had babies? Come here and look at these guys. They had babies. No.
It's going to be taking inventory.
Yeah. See, now my brain's just like, what did you want to get in the next 6 months? Because you need to get it now. Because if it's already here, he can't tell you that you can.
You can always, like say that you bought it as a gift. Look, I gifted this to you. I'll take care of it.
Well, shoot. What if? Oh, I don't know. It'll be fine. I have good taste in fish. I'm sure he can handle it.
That's right. That's right.
See, but
oh yeah, Joseph is a chef. He can cook you a romantic dinner for your birthday.
I'm a chef too,
and get some nice candles. Have a candlelight dinner.
I'm thinking.
For a while, you can totally get away with saying, "Oh, you haven't noticed that one before."
No, because he's gonna like we very. See, the problem with that is we very much have the same taste in fish, so he's going to be interested in everything I have. So he's going to pay attention and probably ask questions. And his memory's not great, but it's not bad enough to not notice stuff. Oh, he's still in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm talking about you. Hello. Forgot I was live for a second, even though I'm staring at the chat because everyone's talking amongst each other. It doesn't involve me whatsoever.
We're better tonight, though, than last time. At least we are looking at the chat. Last time I had you on, we didn't even look at the chat.
It's not an arc. So Joseph keeps referring to this as an arc, and I'm not trying to build an arc. I take an interest into something like a pisto. So with my pistos, it started with I got the McMaster-eyes. And then I saw how cool they were and their parental behavior. And I was like, ooh, these are awesome. And then I got Panduro. And now I'm up to 7 species because I'm just like, well, I found this species and I can keep them, which means I can breed them, which means I can offer other people like high quality captive bred ones. And it justifies me having a tank full of them. Really, the only reason this is what I do for a living is so I can justify having a bunch of tanks of so many species. Because then it's like, well, no, they're my breeders. Because they are, but they're also like, that's my ruby tetras. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't justify having so many tanks of different species if I wasn't breeding them and like selling the offspring. And apparently Jesse is also getting into apistos right now as well. For my birthday, this is so exciting. So I got a group of quad red cockatoides.
Oh, nice.
The female, even her ventral fins had the markings of the dam of the babies. The guy sent me like a whole group of them, and he sent me a pair of dwarf flame gouramis that I'm obsessed with because I love gouramis. I think they're so cute. Right now I have licorice, moonlight, and pearl gouramis breeding for me, so I'm really excited to get these guys. And what else? He sent another box that's going to show up tomorrow because, and this was cool of him. It's actually Thunder Aquatics here on YouTube. You guys can find him on there. He's a really cool guy. He's been in the hobby for a while, but he found out I bought them.
Thunder Aquatics?
Yep. He found out I bought them for myself for my birthday, and he sent an extra box of like neos and plants and just like fun little extras, which I thought was really, really sweet. So yeah, Jesse, the pseudomugials right now, I've fallen down that wormhole too. At one point, I actually had to downsize with the blue eyes because at one point I had 6 different species, and I was like, that's way too many. That is way too many. That Embellis are a good one, Mark. They're a pretty good beginner wild for a lot of people. I would say any of the ornamentals in general are pretty good on that. Now,
I should ask since hang on just a sec. Ginger, did you get your cards today that I sent? Because some people have gotten them. There's a couple people who haven't gotten them yet. So I'm just curious.
Are those flag cichlids, GRB? Is that the common name? Because I think he's referring to flag cichlids. Checkerboard cichlids are cool. Lately, I'm loving, I got several months back and they finally came out of quarantine, Nigerian red cribs.
But don't the checkerboard cichlids, are those the little guys that go really good in brackish water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want some of those eventually too. They're cute. Like really, really cute. Jeffro's fish keeping. What the heck? Hi. How are you doing?
No, my cribs, I have to say, the Nigerian reds in particular, the colors are so cool. They're so cool, and cribs are such good parents. But no. So what about you, Pam? Experience with cichlids?
I'm never I don't do like the Africans or South Americans or anything like that. I think the only cichlids I've ever had is angelfish and discus. And it's been quite a few years since I had either one of them. Angels are pretty. I mean, they're beautiful fish, but I can't stand watching them fight all the time. Hi, sweetie.
That's why
I used to have like a 75-gallon planted discus tank that I had for quite a long time, and I did love my discus.
Ginger, you can't buy any of the cribs. When they get old enough, I will just send you a bonded pair of the cribs. Ginger Grace, you do not buy things off me. You get them. We're sisters. That's how this works. Your family. No, it's funny because someone recently, when was it? It was at the Circle City Aquarium talk that I did. Somebody asked me if I kept cichlids. And I was like, I mean, I have my rams and I have a couple of pistos. Not really. Oh, and I have my Oscars and I have the angels. And then there's the Julies. Oh, yeah, and the ocelotus. And I just kept going. I was like, I guess I do have a lot more cichlids than I have.
Fun as Amber, how hard are licorice gouramis to keep?
Very hard. Very hard if you can't
I
do.
love the looks of them too, but I think don't they have to have soft water and stuff?
I'm about to contradict. They're very hard until you like truly understand black water and how to maintain a low pH. And once you can get pH at like a 5.0, they're good. But if you're going to keep them, yeah, but if you're going to keep them, you want to be breeding them, and they want to be arguably even lower than that. Like the person I got my first pair from, because my first pair were Phoenix licorice, which are lower pH even than the standards, and those actually wanted 3.0.
Whoa. I
Yeah,
don't know if I could even get my water to 3.0.
that takes a little bit of time, but it's
But
not.
I love the looks of them. I gotta say, chocolate gouramis are neat looking fish.
My favorites are moonlight gouramis. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they get about this big. I actually have a group downstairs that are juveniles from my last pair. I held back because they were nicer than the adults, but no, they get about this big. And the males, when they fight, they have ventral fins that are like twice as long as their bodies, and they will literally just sit as far away from each other as they can and whip at each other with their ventrals. It's the funniest thing. And then they do like the angelfish, where they like rush up on each other and kind of get in each other's face and chest bump, and then they go back to like whipping each other. It's so funny to watch. It's so funny to watch, and they'll flare and get all mad, and then the loser will pout at the bottom. They're too fun. I also have a propensity for gouramis because they're related to bettas, so the look and like the personality is pretty similar. Oh, and I have the sparkling gouramis too. I always forget those because they're tiny. They're tiny, and I never see them in their tank. Pearl gouramis are cool. I have a group of those downstairs as well. Somebody asked if either of us had ever kept Bolivian rams.
I have not, but I'd be tempted by them because I like them a lot.
Sean, I don't have blue ocelotus available right now, but I will probably next month. I should have fry big enough to send you. You don't need to waste your money on aquabid. And the group you're about to buy are off Mr. Tim, who's actually the same gentleman I got my group from. So if you wait, I can send you pretty much the same genetics you'd be getting. It's sad, Pam. I literally know probably 95% of the active aquabid auctions right now. Like, I know all the sellers on that site. It's bad. It's bad. And by the way, if anyone knows how to get like a bad, like negative feedback removed off your aquabid, please let me know, because I had this one seller and I'm so mad about this because I found the email thread the other day even and sent it to him. But he gave me negative feedback saying that I bid but never paid. I found the PayPal receipt, I found the email, but it makes my rating on aquabid lower, and I don't like that. So if anyone knows how I can dispute that, please let me know, because it's not actually a big deal, but it does bother me. Because I paid. Why should I get bad feedback? I friggin' paid you. I paid you a lot of money for that fish, actually. Yeah, sparkling gouramis have fun personalities. I have a lot of, I guess I don't realize until I actually start talking to people about different species, just how many things I have, or like setting up the living room racks recently. I have a list, literally This is one of my many lists on like what the parameters of my tanks need to be and the different species and where I'm going to put them and how many in the group there are. And I didn't realize I have a lot of rasboras. I have a lot of tetras. I have like 13 rasbora species. Somehow I visited Lucas's house one time and he infected me. And then I just kept going back and getting reinfected and being like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I could do that. Oh, yeah, that's a fantastic. Just tanks everywhere. I fully blame Lucas for infecting me with collectoritis.
I think you probably had it before then.
It wasn't nearly this bad. The first time I visited the man, I had 28 tanks and they all had filters. Within 8 months of going to his house and being like, oh, whoa, this is like magic and this is what I want. Only my version. Within 6 months, I had hit 100 fish tanks. Within a year, I had hit almost 200 tanks and was only running 10 on filters. Because seeing it in person and actually understanding that you can actually do this if you set up your systems right, it was just kind of like, and a light bulb went off and then stuff happened.
Yeah.
I blame Lucas. I was a fish nerd before. Now that I honestly, it was seeing the house and understanding that you can do that on a large level. You just have to figure out how to make the hobby work for you. Small cichlid that would do good with rummy nose and cardinals. I would say epistos. You, Pam?
Rummy nose and what?
Cardinal tetras. They want a dwarf cichlid that would go well in a tank with those two.
There's a lot you could have with them because they're nice little fish. I mean, I used to have them with my discus.
Mm-hmm.
I love rummy nose. They're like one of my favorites because they remind me of little B-52 bombers with the red nose and the checkered tail.
Ooh, a planted 40 breeder. See, I'm the type of person who goes, so you have cardinals and rummy nose, which are found in the same parts of South America. So my brain goes, which cichlids are found there? So that's why I said epistos, but in a 40 breeder, you could do something larger too. Like larger than epistos, that affords you a lot of space. I don't know. Let's see.
I should do another giveaway because otherwise I'm going to run out of time.
Could do rams. Bolivian rams would be, a pair of Bolivian rams.
Nice. That would
in
be
a 40
fun.
breeder planted, those would look cool. They're good size.
Really cool.
Could do some type of geophagus, perhaps. But those are also not.
So, where'd Amber go? Amber disappeared. Amber, come back. I guess I'll do a giveaway really quick while we wait for her to come back. So, there she is.
No touchy.
Oh my God, don't hit buttons.
Don't hit buttons. I don't know why. I know why. I need to stop. I'm closing. I went to exit the Aquabid tab and I hit the tab for StreamYard because I was tempted to hit. I
did not touch the buttons. Maria.
I did. I hit buttons. So for Jesse, he just said that his gold rams ate the eggs before they could remove the parents. If they're new, just my experience with rams, if they're newer parents, like if they've only had like under 5 spawns, up until that 5th spawn, they might just eat them and stress out and freak out for whatever reason because they're rams. I personally like to just leave them with their eggs, and eventually they kind of get the hang of it. I actually got really, really lucky with my black rams. They spawned, the first time was in quarantine, and now it's like every other week. Oh, she's doing a giveaway and I'm talking.
No, you're fine. Keep talking. You can talk while I do a giveaway. I'm giving away the full body of the killdeer next, and the number is going to be between 50 and 100. And I have it written down. And while Amber's talking, we can do numbers.
Actually, Tom, John, I did get to go and tour John Stoller's fish room. John is an incredibly talented Cory and just ram breeder. I didn't get my black rams from him. He actually wants to get some from me because I managed to get my hands on a really good line, but he does have the most ridiculous. So he has a tank with 4 adult Corys and a group of electric blue rams growing out. And there's one in there that's like a stunted, teeny tiny little dude, like a quarter of the size of all the other ones, and it schools with the Corys. If Haley's in the chat, like she can attest to that. It was probably one of the cutest fish I've ever seen. He was literally bottom scooting along with his Corydora buddies.
Oh no.
It was so cute. He was hiding in a coconut hut with them because he's so tiny. I think he almost schools with them because then he doesn't get bullied. No, John is a very talented breeder, though.
I did say start, Ginger. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Sorry. I thought you were going to pick a number. I don't know. I'm not good at this, Pam. This is why I don't film or live stream.
Everybody's throwing in numbers. And this is the drawing that we're giving away right now. Number between 50 and 100. And I think everybody's about done. I'm going to type stop in a minute, so throw out your number if you haven't yet. Okay. Oh, you can throw out another guess, Barbara. She guessed the wrong side of yours, so you can throw out one more. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to hit stop. Oh, wait, still got some coming in. Okay, now I'm going to hit stop. And the number that I wrote down is number 82. And I think Phil Emerson got it, but let me double check. Because I think he guessed 81. And I think that's going to be the closest one. Hi, Catfish Terry. Yep, Phil got 81, and that's the closest one. So Phil won. So send me your email, or not your email. I'm going to let Candy throw out my email and send me your address, Phil, so I can get it sent to you. And copy and paste my email because it's hard to, if you don't get it spelled right, it won't go through. And congratulations. Okay, now you can talk, Amber. I'm sorry.
No worries. Do you have any experience with Bashirs?
None. None.
I didn't either. My my PetSmart got a group of them in like a month back, called my Petco and was like, "Do you know what these are and how to take care of them? I think they're eels." And they called me and were like, "Do you want to take some eels?" And I showed up and was like, "These are not eels. Did you guys even look up what the Latin name is?" And they were like, "Nah, it's fine." So now I have baby Bashirs, and Haley's slowly teaching me the way of dragonfish. They're very interesting, I have
Oh
to say.
yeah, they are awesome, awesome fish. My thing is I don't have any big tanks.
See, they grow slow enough that the group should do fine so I have a 90 that I was going to use. I had this whole like thing envisioned. I was going to do a big group of glass Asian catfish and like lilies and rounded river stones and clumps, and it was going to look really friggin' cool and be black water. And then I got the baby Bashirs, and now I'm like, well, that's going to be your grow up for the next 2 years. Scrap that plan. But they deserve it. They're so cool. It's interesting how through rescuing fish, you can end up falling in love with species that you never would have bought.
Exactly, yes.
You know, they're definitely interesting. I will say though, it's models. John from Sharpie's Models and Aquatics apparently has a 10-gallon grow out tub with 3 pairs and their babies.
Oh no.
Cribs of crebensis. That sounds like an incredible soap opera in the making.
Oh yeah, killdeer. I love. Yeah, they will. They'll like pretend they have a broken wing and go running across the ground to like lead you away from their nest because they nest on the ground.
Oh, Barbara Jackson. Fish club auctions are just in general dangerous for me. I have, because Aquabid, that's the thing I didn't say about Aquabid. There's 2 ways to buy. They have, some have the buy it now option, which is usually a slightly larger price than the minimum bid on auction. So you can bid, other people can outbid you. The number of times I've been like, I'm going to win this. I'm going to win this. This is fantastic. And then with a couple hours to go, somebody outbid me. And I was like, and I raised my bid by like a lot more than I had budgeted myself, just because I was like, oh, hell no, you're not beating me.
I've never gone on Aquabid before.
It's dangerous because I get competitive. I'm a very competitive person, Pam, and I like buying fish and aquatic stuff. So it's like my favorite thing to shop for. And then you can like pit me in competition against other people. It's dangerous. So dangerous. So dangerous. There was one guy at the San Francisco Bay Aquarium Society auction who was like outbidding me on a number of things. And all I could think is, if I had a credit card on me, you would do so much damage right now just holding your hand up. Because I probably would have outbid him on everything if I had my credit card, just for the point of it.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
I have bid on stuff on eBay before, and I will sit there if someone's like bidding against me. I'll wait until like it's just about to shut off, like the bidding is just about to finish. Then I'll try to get in my next bid real quick.
I once had an older gentleman who I got into a nasty bidding war in Aquabid with. Like, this auction went for at least $100 more than I've ever seen anything in its category go for. He and I were just bidding back and forth. It was like over 50 bids back and forth. And when it was all done with, the guy emailed me because I had one. And he was like, "Touche, I fear your future ex-husbands." I was like, yes. I wanted to win this. Oh. Oh, Barbara, yeah, I did a talk at the San Francisco Crime Society in November. Who was the speaker? Yeah, eBay with last minute bidders be damned. Y'all are not fair.
That's
Y'all
right.
have made me cry before an alpha bid when I was literally like mentally
Somebody, that's what I do. I know it's bad, but I will sit there with my finger on the enter button and just wait.
No, people, no. I have literally been like mentally escaping a tank and having all these like, magical thoughts of how I'm going to do this and that. And then I look and I'm like, wait, I didn't win. How did I not win? How did I not win? It's enough to bring a girl to tears. Oh. No, Aquabid. So much of my money.
A sniper, yep.
Yeah, I also put in what I'm willing to pay at the start as my maximum bid, John, but depending on how upset somebody else bidding makes me, that could change. Like, you might keep raising the price by $1 just to try and outbid me on a damn dollar. And then when you finally do outbid me, I'm like, my budget just got raised. Oh. No, I do think it'll be good to have some impulse control around the house. Like, I'm not good with that. And now that I have quarantine, I'm like, well, now I have places to put new things. So, and I mean, to be fair, anyone who, when you first go into like a level of nationwide self-isolation and quarantine, anyone who gets a text from an ex-roommate that says, girl, I understand you might be bored, but do not give yourself bangs again and you won't look good with the perm. That alone tells me that like I need some impulse control in my life. Because that happened when everything went down with this pandemic and everyone went into quarantine. My old roommate John texted me and was like, I know you're probably bored, girl, but remember the bangs. Don't do it.
It shouldn't bother me any because I mostly don't go anywhere anyway. I just kind of like keep to myself and do my art. And I don't even know my neighbors. I don't know anybody in town. I don't have friends because I don't encourage it, you know. But for some reason, knowing that I can't go out drives me nuts. And it shouldn't bother me a bit because I'm just, it's like how I live my life anyway. But just the knowledge that I don't have a choice in the matter, does that make sense to you?
Oh, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Because I'm the type of person where it's like, if you tell me not to do something, I want to do it.
Oh my God, yes.
So I'm not saying like I want to go out and just like touch everything and be like running up to people and coughing on them. But like, you tell me I'm supposed to stay home and I'm only allowed to leave for exercise, and my like naughty little brain goes, okay, so hiking's exercise, so I can go drive like an hour away to a hiking trail that I really like. Like I start looking for loopholes to make it so it's okay for me to do that. It's awful. It's awful. And I will admit, I did a naughty thing when this first started. Oh, it's so bad of me. First got back from Maryland, and when I first got back from the Big Fish Deal, that's when everyone was like stocking up on like dried goods and toilet paper. So I went to PetSmart and got all the carob seed that they had in stock because I was like, I just need sand and bloodworms. Like, I am fine trapped in my house as long as I have my substrate. So I
don't understand the toilet paper thing. I just don't understand it. It's like, okay, I'm by myself. Before it all started, I bought a 12-pack. I still have 7 rolls left.
Yeah,
I need to go run out and buy cases of toilet paper. It's like, if I'm going to run out of something, like food or toilet paper, I would rather buy the food, because
Yeah, like I'll be honest, not to be like
wipe your ass.
super blunt, but when somebody tells me, oh, like it's a pandemic and stuff shutting down, I'm not worried about how I'm going to wipe my butt. How am I going to feed my fish? How am I going to feed my fish or my snakes? Because I'm not breeding mice just to feed my snakes.
I know the
So,
only thing I've really been worried about was if they're gonna like if they closed up completely would be worms for my axolotls because I can't stock up that much on them because they'll die.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Fish food and stuff. I have a ton of fish food. I mean, I've got a lot of fish food, but the worms for the axolotls, I should buy. I should order them something else that I can feed them in a pinch.
Yeah, the sand. So I had two 20-pound bags in this arm, and I had like two in this side, and then I had something else hanging off my arm that I got. I don't even remember what. But this lady cut me in line because I was standing far back from the guy in front of me because social distance. At that point, they were telling everyone 6 feet apart was like that was like the start of this whole thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the heck? And she did that thing where they like somebody does something they shouldn't or that they know is wrong, and then they look at you out of the corner of their eye to see if you're going to react or if they got away with it. And that annoyed me. And then I saw the brand new bottle of hand sanitizer hanging off of her purse. And I even told myself, like in my head, Amber, do not, just because she's being a bee doesn't mean you need to. And that didn't work. So the other part of my brain had me cough because she cut me off and I saw the hand sanitizer and I was like, and this woman literally set her basket down and just walked right out of the store. And I was like, oh, I should feel bad. But she did cut me, so I don't. Like that. I know it's naughty, but it still made me giggle because it was the start of things. It was when for people, the only people who were using hand sanitizer were the ones who were really genuinely like really freaked out. And she totally kept looking back at me to see if I was going to react to her cutting me. And I couldn't anymore. I couldn't resist the urge to cough just cough. Wasn't even all it took was the cough and she jumped and set her basket down and out.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate is because when I like mostly all I've really gone the only places I've really gone is like the post office. And the other day I went and got some more tobacco because I make my own cigarettes. But it's such a production to do that because I don't have any hand sanitizer because there has been none in town at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I like make up a rag with soapy water and put it in a plastic Ziploc so that when I come out of the store I can wipe my hands off and wipe the door handles off and all that stuff. And then I got a face mask and it's like and then if I get anything I've got to wipe it off when I get home, like stick it in the sink and wash it with soap and water if it's washable. And it's like it's such a production to get anything. It's like such a damn production, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've got to be really careful because I'm definitely in the high risk category.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it bugs me that I can't go that I really that I don't have a choice in the matter, and then it bugs me that I have to pre-plan everything so far in advance and have everything set up. And like if I go to the grocery store or something like that, then as soon as I get home I take off all my clothes and take a shower and put on clean clothes. And it's just such a production, just to go get a gallon of milk.
That is true. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know. It's odd times.
Yeah, and
For
then you got all
sure.
these people saying it's not that bad, not that many people are dying. Yeah, not that many people are dying because everybody's staying home. You know, do I need to get my box of crayons out and explain this to you?
I mean, it's hard. It's definitely a tricky thing to do because in the past with friends when we disagreed on like politics and stuff and had different viewpoints, that was fine. But in this situation, I have some friends who are the people who are just like, yeah, whatever. I want things back to normal. And I struggle to agree with that mentality. Like, I understand it, but I also
Yeah.
don't.
Well, there's people that are saying, well, let it, just let it go and kill the weakest and let the rest of us get back to work. I'm like,
People need to realize, though, that if
I'm
it's a
one of the people
mad,
that probably die if I got it.
that's the thing. If it's like back in the day when parents, because I can remember the whole chicken pox party thing, where like one kid in my class got chicken pox and literally all the moms brought the kids over to that kid's house and got us all infected because they were like, well, let's just get it over with. If we used that mentality in this situation, hospitals would be overrun, resources would be depleted, and we would lose far more people than we will if we try to manage it long term. That's the main thing that I see as an argument to people who are like, well, if people are going to get sick and die anyways from it, it might as well happen. More people would die because hospitals wouldn't have the ability to treat them. So, and I mean, like, I mean, I don't really talk about it, but I'm also I'm immunocompromised, so I'm in that risk group. So it's very
Yeah.
hard when your friends saying that, and I'm like, so everyone's gonna get it anyways, and like some people are gonna die anyways. Hi, hi. Can you please not have the mentality and just stay home?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I also have my mother who's still in the hospital on machine support at the moment. So if resources get depleted, she's DNR. She's been on support for a long time, and only recently has she showed any like cognitive functioning. So if they had to make tough calls because hospitals were overrun and they were pulling some people off life support, you
Yeah.
know, and that hits home for people in the community because the fish fam community has a member of it in the hospital at the moment on machine assistance. Tracy from
Exactly.
Ohio
Yeah.
Fish Rescue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. I think that people should avoid going out if possible. Like, not don't stop living your life, but at the same time, you don't have to. I'm the type of person who I'll go to the grocery store every other day just because it's more convenient. Because I'm like, oh, I want to make that for dinner, but I don't have this one thing. I'll just go to the store. It can be as simple of a matter as doing one grocery trip a week instead of four. You know what I mean? Like, ideally you wouldn't be going out at all, but if you have to, you can at least try and like condense the
Yeah.
amount of.
And then I saw the Safeway store here has special hours for older people and people at high risk, which I would love to, go there then. But it's like 7 in the morning, 7 to 8 in the morning. Like, what the fuck? There's no way in hell I'm gonna make it to the grocery store at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting the ways they're dealing with it. I know a lot of stores around here are doing one-way lanes to prevent like coming in contact with other people in the aisles. It's weird
Yeah,
times. I don't know. I'm just glad I'm a fish keeper because
most
I
I order stuff online. If I need something, I order it. But occasionally, like I have to go to the post office. Like I'll have to go to send these prints. But the last time I was at the post office, I spent like $50 on stamps and stuff. So when I give away the cards, which I do most weeks, I just give away the little cards, and I can put them in an envelope and drop them in the box without going inside. Well, Ginger says most people your age are up at that time. Well, most people my age are not up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. So there. And I'm not like most people my age.
Yeah, you keep interesting hours, Pam. You're crazy. You really live in wildlife over there. Like, you'll be up all night working and in streams, and I wake up at like 6 a.m. and I'm still exhausted. I'm like, I need more sleep. And then I go and look and it's like, oh, Pam's checking into the chat in between being super productive while I just sleep. Of course she is. Reminds me of this one roommate I had who was like, she was an overachiever to the point of where we would discuss something like she wallpapered an entire room in 3 hours while I was at work.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So like, and she'd keep weird hours and she was very hyperactive. So we would talk about doing something to the apartment. Like we talked about hanging Christmas lights, which is part of why I have them in every room of this house because I love Christmas lights. But we talked about hanging them in the dorm and I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. You know, maybe we can pick them up online or something. Went to work, came home, and the entire suite was done with Christmas lights. And I was like, oh my goodness, you've been busy. No, I think this whole like everything going on with the virus and that, my only concern is how funding or lack thereof is affecting the postal system, or the fact that if, you know, God forbid the curve, we hit that and so people start going out again and then it peaks even harder.
That's what I'm afraid of because a lot of the states,
Are
no,
we
some of the states are opening up now when they shouldn't, like Georgia. It's still on an upward spiral and they're opening up all their businesses Friday.
Well, yeah, and if it gets too bad, it might reach a point where they do close the postal system to the general public for non-essential mail for a while. And so
Yeah,
that's why for me, I'm like, what breeding project? Now that we talked about spiders, I keep like feeling itchy. I'm just sitting here digging at myself. My concern was honestly like, what if the things I want to raise up for breeding projects in the next 6 months aren't available? So, oh, Aquabid, I did some things.
yeah, it is too early. You know, I don't know how many people of you saw it, but the photograph from out of Colorado with the people protesting and the nurses like standing in the middle of the sidewalk blocking traffic to counter protests. To me, that was like said so much without saying anything. I mean, to me that was a really powerful photograph, and also he was hot. Just saying, the nurse guy.
The nurse guy, he was hot. Damn. He doesn't have a name. He was just the hot nurse guy.
Just saying, I'm too old to worry about that stuff, but he was hot.
Oh, Pam. No, it's
Protesters are idiots. I mean, I'm sorry. I hope nobody in here went out and protested, but they're freaking idiots. And I see stuff, you know, like on Facebook and stuff. People, oh, not that many people are dying. What's all the panic about? Yeah, not that many people are dying because that's still a lot of people have died. 40,000, over 40,000 is a lot of people. But the reason it's not up in the millions is because we are quarantining and self-isolating. If we didn't, it would be up in the millions. What do I need a box of crayons to explain this to you people? You know, it's just like it makes no sense how people think sometimes.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the protests were encouraged by our president, so
Yes, I know. I try to avoid politics and saying anything about he who shall not be named. But yeah, he is encouraging it because he wants to get reelected, so he wants all the businesses to open up again.
You know, it's funny because my best friend's husband and I had this joke last year because they had a rough year. And he, in particular, was just having a rough time. And I wasn't having a great beginning of the year. There were like ups and downs. And we kept looking at each other and we're like, next year, 2020 is our year.
Yeah.
He texted me the other day. He's like, we done jinxed ourselves by saying it was our year. We should have known what our luck would have brought. I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's completely true. Oh, no. It'll hopefully my one, like as awful as this is to say, it has brought a level of awareness to the damage we're doing to the environment and the ecosystem and its ability to heal itself in this amount of time. I think it's brought a level of consciousness to people that they didn't have before.
People don't start doing something and don't start listening about the environment.
And I will say,
probably just the beginning of what Mother Nature is going to throw at us.
I will say, being someone who was raised, because I was mostly raised by my grandfather and his sister, so different generation entirely. My Aunt Dorothea didn't think a woman was worth anything if she couldn't take an entire live chicken and make her family dinner from that live chicken. Like, if you can kill, clean, and cook that bird.
I have totally done that before with turkeys too.
Same. Absolutely same. So having that mentality of a different generation, because I was raised different than a lot of people my age. I mean, I think when I was like 13, I knew how to do laundry. I knew how to cook. I knew how to clean. I knew how to do all the things that now I'm sitting here and watching Facebook. And some of my friends are trying to figure out how to do. I've had a sourdough starter since I was like 11. And I'm watching people who are like, I don't know what I did wrong. And I'm looking at the picture pam and it's like exploded. I'm like, oh, it's too hot. You fed it too much and it's too hot. It's just really almost entertaining. And I don't know, it's a nice feeling to watch everyone else kind of going back to older ways of taking care of ourselves when we had to. And it's even funnier to me, and this is so naughty, but I do have one friend in particular who has always with pride been like, I don't need to learn how to cook. I don't have to slave at a stove like my mother did. And now she's the one texting me who's like, okay, so when do I add the flour? Is it before or after the butter? Trying to learn how to cook because now she has to. And I'm like,
That's one thing. My kids, we never had a lot of money, but I'm not really worried about them at all as far as that stuff goes because my kids know how to survive on next to nothing and make it into a meal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That is one thing that I still very much appreciate from my upbringing is my appreciation for just what you can do with a vegetable and a piece of protein and like salt. If you know how to cook, you can make a hell of a lot out of like very basic seasonings and a piece of meat and a veg.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, it's definitely funny though.
Yeah,
because
like,
it's a big learning curve for a lot of people.
One of my neighbor kids like hit a rabbit like with his car. And I told him I'll bring it over, and I like skinned it and butchered it and put it in the crock pot. And we had like a really nice dinner.
Rabbits can be tasty, but they can also be tough. You have to cook them.
That's why this was a jackrabbit, which if you look online for recipes for jackrabbit, they say, throw it away. But I crock potted it for about 12 hours, and it was absolutely fantastic. Like I put rice vinegar and water in with it in the crock pot. And yeah, it was like tender as all hell.
My Aunt Gert used to do, it was like a mustard cream braised rabbit thing. It's like an old school French dish. That was delicious. That was also incredibly heavy and just too much.
Oh, my sister-in-law. I wish I had gotten the recipe, but I probably wouldn't be able to do it by myself anyway. But she was a Filipino, and they used to buy hogs and kill them, and then dig a big pit in the backyard.
Oh, I know
Make
where you're
them
going with
cold,
this.
and she'd marinate it in something that was absolutely wonderful. And then
It's
they'd
like,
like put them in the pit and cover it up and let them sit there and cook underground.
mhm.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That was good, good stuff.
No, I remember my grandpa used to do like clam bakes and stuff like that by digging a pit and doing fire down in it.
Oh, nice. I've done clam bakes before, but I did like on the in a big pot on the stove. I never thought of doing it in the ground.
Yeah, he'd dig a big old hole and do a fire in it, and we'd throw like corn and potatoes and stuff in.
Yeah,
No,
I
he
do
was
like I had a great big kettle, and I do like layers of clams and potatoes and onions, and then at the very top, I drop in a couple lobsters. Good stuff.
crab boils are one of my favorite things. It's not something you can really get around here, but it's one of my favorite things. Canning. I know how to can.
Oh yeah, I used to can.
Hmm.
I've canned a lot. I've made applesauce and apple butter, apricot jam, blackberry jam. I've
Hmm.
canned peaches. I've made a lot of pickles. Up just green beans. I've done a lot of canning.
I worked at a place that specialized in charcuterie in New York called Jacob's Pickles. And we even did literally a pickled vegetable flight as an appetizer. So that entire summer, it reached a point where my now ex, he would come to me and be like, "Look, I love your cooking, but I can't deal with any more vinegary shit." I'm like, "Why? Why? It's different vegetables and flavors." He's like, "But it's all pickled and it all tastes like pickle."
Oh, I like pickled stuff. I used to take I would get the gallon jars with the juice still in them from the like pickled sausages and stuff that they have at bars. I would
Hmm,
ask them to save the jars and the juice for me, and then I'd make pickled eggs in them. Oh my god, that was good stuff.
interesting. No, it's pickling is definitely pickling, canning, preserving. It's all kind of a lost art. Like charcuterie, I went through a phase in New York. Speaking of that same poor ex, he one time he came home to find 3 hams curing in our bedroom closet, and we were just like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Hear me out. It's the perfect temperature. The humidity's just right. It's a nice dark space." He's like, "This, no, get them out of the closet." I'm like, "What? Come on!" Oh my god. That little apartment saw so many interesting projects.
Well, should we do another giveaway?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What haven't I given away yet? Oh, we'll give away. Oops, oops. I'm dropping everything. We're going to give away this limited edition print.
By the way, when I look at the chat or at any point I'm not talking, the look on my face is just my face. I'm not actually miserable or unpleasant. It's just my face. I keep glancing at the screen and being like, "Oh yeah, Amber, you need to smile." Uh,
So this print I cannot ship overseas. You can win it if you live out of the U.S. if you're willing to pay for the shipping. But other than that, it has to be a U.S. resident because I can't afford to ship over out of the country right now. So I'm going to write down a number. And it's going to be a number between 1 and 50. And everybody gets one guess only. Number's going to be between 1 and 50, and it's going to be whoever's the closest without going over. And I'm going to type start.
Ugh. It will be good to finally have tanks all set up for the fish I currently have. I keep saying I'm going to do a live stream so I can show everything, and then somehow it's like a bottlenecker. Like, oh, I can't finish this without more airline, or I ran out of sand, or this tank needs to dry before I can escape it. It's amazing how long-winded of a project it ends up being. Frank, you have the most creative responses. You win for most creative. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 responses. So, is it just the Farwell that you've worked with, Pam? I'm curious. As far as like woodcats.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've done like Cory cats, but
No, Corys are fun. I
Fishy,
like.
type in a number because you're like, you must be lagging like way big time. If you just heard me say that. Okay, so I'm going to type stop. Oh, okay, so the number for that one, it's titled Sisters, and it's number 9. And I think Reel's got it, but I'll swing back through and double check.
I keep leaning forward to read the chat and just
Yeah, Reel's got number 7. Oh, Sean, he got number 11. Close. Do. Yep. Reel's one. So you need to send Ginger Beat me to the email. I know I have your address, but send it to me over again so I don't have to like dig through all my mail trying to find it because I'm lazy. The number was number 9.
Oh, I hate when you. I just heard a splash in the other room. It was one of my Oscars.
Uh-oh.
Breaching in the water. No, I know what he did. Every time it makes me jump. Every time it makes me jump. They have. He can't get out. They have a mesh lid on that tank, but it's mesh, so I can still hear the splash because I'm one that likes to go to the top of the water.
Reels is giving it to Zen.
Oh, that's so sweet. She was commenting saying it reminded her of her girls.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Oh, this community is awesome, I have to say.
That was very nice. So what I've got left to give away, I've just got 2 left to give away, which we'll do in a while. I've got the killdeer portrait.
Oh my God, Frank.
And the last one that I'm going to give away is this print right here.
Oh, Frank.
So those are the two that we haven't given away yet.
I need to like get back off my camera. I am like, everyone's just getting a really good view of my head because I'm trying to read the chat. How's my scalp looking, guys? Sorry. Oh, shoot. Ooh, Barbara, advice on making a starter. Pam can chime in on this as well, but for me, the best advice I could give someone is to use the proper jar. I like those jars with the like little hinged lock that like pulls down. You know what I'm talking about, Pam?
Yep.
I like those because if you leave the seal on it, the little rubber gasket, you can latch it and not lock it down, and it leaves like the perfect amount of ventilation on it. And I find a lot of people struggle to like give their starter enough airflow. And the other advice I would give someone for starting a sourdough starter is to find the right cool, dark area. It wants to be at like 60 to 65 degrees in a nice, like not super dry, not super humid. Just, I honestly find bedroom closets are the best place for starters because they're cool, they're dark. So that's my advice. You, Pam? Any tips?
That's it. And don't forget about them.
And don't try to do one with buckwheat flour because buckwheat is not made from actual wheat. It will not give you a sourdough starter because it doesn't contain any of the like yeast spores in it. I did that once. I went through a phase where I was like, I'm going to make different starters with different flours. And I tried doing buckwheat and it won't. I'm trying to remember what buckwheat is actually made of.
I don't know.
But I know that it's not a wheat. And I know that you can't. It's a pseudo cereal, which is a type of grain that doesn't grow on grass. That doesn't explain it.
Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, in case anybody didn't notice, I am doing a Saturday stream this week with a guest. And the guest is going to be my son Tucker. And as soon as I got it set up with him and everything, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? But we'll see how it goes. Because he's too much like me and you never know what's going to come out of his mouth.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to make sure I stay up. I'm going to be ready with my popcorn and a Monster. Yeah, people are saying it's not a grain, it's a seed. See, I didn't know the exacts. I just knew that you can't make a starter out of it. It just gets moldy and gross.
Dan Slee told me he's going to have his Monster and his popcorn ready for that stream.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Because I'm always telling stories about my kids, but I'm hoping he doesn't tell any stories about me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody agrees with you right now, and they all want to hear the stories.
It could be a disaster.
I mean, yeah, there is a reason that none of my family members are on my Facebook or Instagram, because for me, that is 150% business. And I don't need Aunt Kathy hearting every fish picture that I post and being like, I remember when you had a closet full of fish. I don't need that.
Candy's met my son before. And he actually doesn't have a YouTube account, so I don't know if he knows how streams work and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm a little bit worried about it.
Sharpie Models and Aquatics is waiting on his Monster sponsorship. I'm waiting on my Carib Sea sponsorship. You know how much money I've spent on sand in the last 3 years? Good Lord.
I've got 2 bags of it sitting here right now.
Stuff is expensive, but I can't use anything else. It's just so good. It mixes so nice.
what I like about it is like you can like pour it in and add water and it doesn't make a big cloudy mess because it's
Mm,
heavy enough to where it stays down.
yep. I've moved most of my plants at this point to a mixture of eco complete, kitty litter, worm castings, and then I cap it with an equal amount of sand. They grow so nice. They grow so nice. I don't know why I was buying Amazonia and Stratum and Eco Complete and Blackwell for so many years. Just the only reason I had the Eco Complete is because I like how the crushed lava rock, the consistency it gives to the actual clay. If I could find just crushed lava rock, I'd use that instead. Sean, don't say that because I currently am short on sand and I have the ability to come there and take sand from you, sir. Do not tempt me. You're going to get a phone call from one of your neighbors and be like, there's some girl trying to rob your shed, dude. She's not doing a very good job, but do you want us to call the cops? No, I wouldn't actually. I'm thinking you're
Holly,
doing an art giveaway. What would I give away? I feel like I don't have anything that I would do a giveaway for. Maybe pathos. I have a lot of
you have
pathos,
a lot of puzzles, yeah.
but I also don't like the idea of giving it away. I'm bad. I'm greedy as all get out when it comes to plants, Pam. I'm so glad Joseph's fallen asleep at this point because he, in the move, he keeps being like, all right, so this friend's getting this tank and this friend's getting that tank. And I'm like, are they getting plants too? What kind of plants? How many plants are you leaving in the tank? You know I like crips, right? You know crips are my favorite. Like, my birthday is right around the corner, and I'd be so happy if you just gave me crips for my birthday. 'Cause I'm
Yep,
I'm
yep.
I'm reasonable. I'm reasonable. I know that I'm a very difficult person to buy gifts for. I know that chances are if I want it, I've already bought it for myself, so I like to make it easier on spouses or, like, partners
I
rather.
noticed.
Like, I don't expect you to do anything for Valentine's Day, you're off the hook. For my birthday, just acknowledge it and we'll be fine. But if I can work it so I end up getting crips out of the deal, I will. I so will. Uh,
Oh yeah, DMC has me some puzzles written. Yes, you can send them anytime. I think it's this week is going to be pretty warm, so they would make it here without freezing. Well, oh my gosh, next Wednesday, a week from today, it's going to be up in the 70s.
is it really? Wow.
I have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are in the 70s. I haven't seen 70 since the end of September.
I don't know roses. Yeah, no, I will admit, and this is kind of a weird personal thing, but cut flowers make me sad.
I know because I never wanted to get cut flowers. I'd rather get a plant
Yeah,
that
you just killed it.
water and keep.
You just killed it, and also cut flowers kind of remind me of funerals and weddings, neither of which I'm a fan of. So I'm Dan.
Totally.
Oh, Dan bought. Oh, you bastard. I love crips. I don't think there's a single aquatic plant I love as much as crips. They are so underrated.
Yep.
But
Marie's crafting creation. I told my husband to give me plants. Yep. Yep. That's where I've always been. I love plants.
I've never had a boy do that. But I think I'd appreciate that. Like a live plant. I feel like that would be more my thing.
Hmm.
No. They always buy flowers. They don't listen. Men never listen when you say, I really don't like cut flowers. And then they buy you cut flowers. And for me, in the past, when I've gotten them, it's like accompanied with an apology for something. So it's a combination of I don't like cut flowers and also what did you do? Like, what did you do? Why are you giving me carnations?
I remember when I was working in the deli in Cheyenne, the deli manager, I walked up to her on Valentine's Day and I told her that I really liked working with her. I had my hand behind my back, right?
Oh
I
no.
really liked working with her, so I got her flowers for Valentine's Day, and I brought my hand out and I had like put some flour in a cup, like flour, like FLOUR.
I did have a kid who was trying to woo me when I was in college do that. He bought
Really?
me he bought me flowers, and it was a Bob's Red Mill variety pack
Yep.
of like quinoa and stuff. It was very clever. It was very clever. uh, I also have a friend with this weird obsession with raw broccoli. I don't know, she loves it. And her now husband, when they first started dating, brought her a bouquet of broccoli florets. That's a clever one I've seen. But no, crips are great. People are discussing crips in the chat. I can't say enough good things about crips.
Oh, I love crips too. They have to be one of my favorite aquarium plants.
I like their ability to grow despite any lighting. Like, does not matter if it's highlight or no light, they will find a way.
Yeah, I've seen pictures on Facebook of people giving bouquets of toilet paper, a toilet paper bouquet.
So I'm not sure if I still have it, but this entire pandemic thing, I found the most fantastic picture. It's an anniversary picture, but it's quarantine style. You watch, I didn't save it, did I? But it's basically them with like a can of Lysol. Oh, I found it. Oh, it's beautiful. So I don't know how well centered I have this because my screen has a delay, but it's their anniversary picture.
Yep, that's a good one.
COVID style. It's probably the best thing I've seen. 14-year wedding anniversary, and it's just them with face mask, Lysol spray, Clorox wipes, and toilet paper. About right.
Yep, I saw one the other day with which I posted actually, but I can't show you. But oh, I just pulled up my Facebook. But it's a like one of those where people are doing the recreating famous paintings out of museums. Have you seen those?
Yes, I have seen those.
And
There's
this one, I forget what painting it was, but the guy's like dressed up like a king, but instead of like the hair wig with the big white curls,
he has toilet paper.
toilet paper. Yeah, that cracked me up.
People are getting very creative. No, it's a weird time. It's a weird time. Someday I feel like I'm going to be telling my kids about the pandemic of 2020 and why I always keep a spare thing of toilet papers in the garage. It's okay. Don't mind mom. It's just her weird thing about toilet paper.
A
Because
lot of people are going to be like, their grandkids are going to be inheriting cases of toilet paper.
Seriously though, I feel like that's going to be a thing. Like someday I'm going to need to because that's another thing that growing up with a different generation raising me, it was always instilled like you want to have an extra on hand and you should buy it when it's on sale, right? Like that makes sense. Now I feel like the number of things I'm just going to need like a shelf in my basement where I always have certain things because it's not even that I'm scared to run out of them. It's the weirdness of going to the store, needing an essential and being like, oh yeah, I can't buy that because everybody stockpiled flour.
exactly, yeah. It's like, and you can't find yeast, and I mean, it's like it's ridiculous. The last time I went to the store, I wanted to get some frozen vegetables because I don't have any vegetables, and I had two choices: green beans or spinach, and that was it. The whole frozen vegetable thing was empty. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, just what the hell?
Yeah, the main thing that when I was like still going to stores and stuff, the main thing I noticed people were completely decimating was the dried pasta. And I couldn't figure out why. And then it finally dawned on me. We've reached a point where the thing that most people know how to cook is boiling water.
Probably, yeah. Well, that it stores easy. I mean, you get stuff. I mean, you fill up. These people that are like hoarding stuff, they fill up their freezers and they got to go for.
But nobody was buying the dried beans and grains and things that people don't know how to cook. Quinoa. Quinoa was completely in stock in the store. Farro, barley. Everybody had barley because a lot of people don't know how to cook that.
You know, it sounds good. I should next time I go to the stores. Probably won't be for a while, but I should get some chickpeas and make some hummus. That sounds really good.
I like chickpeas. A lot of my, like, the main thing I eat is grains and legumes and like
Oh,
vegetables.
spam! Yuck.
Hmm?
DMC says I forgot how awesome spam was until 2 weeks ago. Spam is like congealed fat. Ugh, yuck! It's like bologna. Ooh.
I do remember going to Hawaii. The aisle of spam in the grocery store was,
Yeah, I think it's a Hawaiian thing. They like their spam.
yeah, it's because it wasn't it Pearl Harbor troops. That was a very common food item for them at the time, and then it like gained popularity after that. If Jesse's in here, he can correct me. If not, I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. But I'm pretty sure that's why spam's so popular, is because during Pearl Harbor, something to do with like,
Yeah, I don't know. I just know Hawaii like has 1 million recipes for spam.
and a million different flavors. Yeah, a lot of my friends pick on me, John, that I eat birdseed because I eat a lot of like barley and millet and farro and quinoa, and it's like it's birdseed. What, Jesse? I was asking why spam is so popular in Hawaii. Like, isn't the origin? I'm gonna Google this spam. I love that Google somehow manages to like take the way I search things. I literally just typed in spam in Hawaii. Why so popular? Oh, World War II is when GIs were served it during World War II, and that's when it became popular, according to Huffington Post. So it wasn't Pearl Harbor; it was World War II, according to this. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, sorry.
I know
Yeah,
shit.
Jesse.
It is, and it's like I was. What did I get? Oh, the filter on my mud skippers quit working, so I went on Amazon to order another one, and you know it's free shipping because I don't have Prime, so it's free shipping, but you have to after you spend $25, and the filter was like 14.99 or something like that. So I was looking around for something to buy, you know, to get it up to 25, so I wouldn't have to pay shipping. And I decided, well, I could get a box of hair dye, right? Because I dye my hair, obviously, because I'm old and I don't like gray hair. So I was looking at the hair dye, and one box of hair dye that at Walmart is like $6.49 was $19.98 for one box. I was
Yep.
like, what the fuck? People are like gouging the shit out of everybody.
I feel really lucky right now that I'm as low maintenance as I am. I've had so many girlfriends who are like, why don't you get your nails done? Why don't you do this? Why don't you get your eyebrows threaded? And right now they're just like, I feel like a wildebeest. And I'm like, I look exactly the same. I look the same level of crap that I always. Oh shit. Like I might run out of mascara at some point. Deodorant. That's the thing I worry about is deodorant.
Yeah, I
But
know. It's like I've thought of that too. It's like I kind of like double checked and made sure I had plenty of shampoo and plenty of deodorant.
and for those who were curious, according to the spam website, the island's love affair with spam began in World War II when GIs were served the salty luncheon meat because it didn't require refrigeration and had a long shelf life. The Hormel Corporation, which manufactures spam, provided 15 million cans to Allied troops every week. Between 1941 and 1945, Hormel shipped over 1 million pounds. Also, fun fact, it's the shortened version of spiced ham. That is what spam stands for. But Army soldiers would often refer to it as special Army meat.
Oh, Jesse.
Fun stuff.
Jesse says I'm not using any deodorant right now. Oh,
Yeah, I know individuals who also don't use deodorant, and they somehow like some of them need it, some of them don't. It amazes me people actually exist in this world who don't require deodorant because maybe it's just because I'm a stinky French girl, but if I forget to use deodorant, I know within a few hours and I'm like, I smell.
yeah, yeah.
I smell like literal garbage right now.
Even living by myself, I have to use deodorant because yeah.
I honestly think it's just a French people thing. Like how some girls can sleep and they wake up and their hair's like nice and fine. I wake up and it's like greasy on the top, tangled up into some weird wannabe afro because these curls do not take to an active sleeper very kindly. I don't know. I have girlfriends who can like their hair looks amazing. I'm like, your hair looks so good today. And they'll be like, oh, thanks. I haven't showered in 5 days. I'm like, how? Ew, how?
I have learned not to go to bed with wet hair because if I go to bed with wet hair or damp hair, I wake up in the morning and it's like this mass of unruly curls everywhere. It's awful.
When I was younger, I used to have like Shirley Temple curls. They've calmed down a
I
bit,
did.
but they were.
My mom used to just wrap my hair around her fingers and make Shirley Temple curls when I was little.
There was one point that I decided with that level of curls, I wanted to get a short haircut. And she cut it right here, which with really curly hair, when you cut it just below a girl's ears, it kind of goes shing. And
That's what my hair is like too. Then it's like no,
yeah,
no.
4th grade was not a good time for me.
My sister, when I started school, my sister had like she was 3 years older than me, and she had thin, straight hair, and I had super thick curly hair, and it was real long. And like say, my mom used to make ringlets and stuff. And my sister, like the day before I started kindergarten, had me sit down underneath the kitchen table, and she cut my hair off. And so I started kindergarten with like a pixie cut, like super, super short.
But that's kindergarten. Kindergarten, I feel like kids are more forgiving. I feel like once you hit middle school, that's when kids get really mean. That's all I remember from school is kids were just horrible. No, that was an unfortunate haircut for me though. And when I walked into school, that I'll never forget this. Oh, I had the biggest crush on that boy too, Evan James. He had a rat tail. I don't know why I had such a crush on him, good Lord. But I walked into class and he literally looked at me and went, "Oh my God, what did you do?" I was just like, don't you like it? Like with my old lady all is bad.
I mean, I was trying to grow my hair out one time. It was like just touching my shoulders. And my hair gets really curly when it starts getting longer. It gets curlier and curlier. And I was working at a grocery store, and all the box boys and stuff started calling me Chewy because it would just go and curly and red and
Yeah. I got some nicknames for mine that I'm just not willing to share, but it was a thing. And then there was the time, 5 years ago, that I needed a haircut. And I had just moved to New York and I didn't want to pay $150 to just get it trimmed and angled. I was like, just trim the layers and angle it. That's all I would ever do. And I don't know, my boyfriend at the time was on a business trip and I was drinking heavily and I decided I could give myself my own freaking haircut. I didn't need anybody. So I watched a YouTube video and found a pair of craft scissors that seemed sharp enough.
oh no.
And then I drank some more because I was really scared to do it. And the last thing I remember from that night is trying to figure out how to make the two pieces on the side even.
Oh yeah.
This. I remember doing this. And then when I woke up the next day, I had a killer hangover and I went to pull my hair back to wash my face. And as I did this, these chunks fell down and they looked like some kind of Asian-esque wannabe sideburn thing. They were atrocious. It looked like something a samurai would have had. Like it was too huge because it was literally my hair up and it was just the side chunks like this were cut this short, Pam. And with my curls, they would like wing out and make these little like the number of times I pulled my hair back without thinking. And I'm standing there talking to somebody, usually my ex, and he's just laughing his ass off. And I'm like, what? And he goes, you got those little, they're like wings. I don't know. Like, this is why you can't go on trips. I need impulse control. When you're not here, I dye my hair, I cut it, things get lit on fire. It's just not a good time.
Oh, I got home from work one time, and Al, Megan's dad, he'd been drinking. And I got home and he says, look, honey, I found some hair clippers and I cut my hair. I was like,
no.
It was the hair clippers that I used on the horses' manes.
I mean, they probably worked great.
And he had like bald spots all over the place. Like just, like bald patches. So yeah, he needed to go get his hair cut so that it looked decent, but he had to be to work at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And he told me that his boss kept staring at him until he finally turned around and says, what? Haven't you ever cut your hair when you were drunk before?
Yep, I have. I also once decided that I was too drunk to pluck my eyebrows and that was for fools. And I would just shape them with like a regular like leg shaving razor.
Oh, no.
Thick. And I don't know what went wrong, but I looked perpetually angry and confused because they were like jagged little patches. So bad. I looked so it looked like a Charlie Brown character with like the zzz.
Well, the same guy, he used to dye his beard, right? Well, he asked me if I'd stop and get him some beard dye because he was getting gray hair in his beard.
The Just for Men stuff?
Yeah, the Just for Men.
Oh my God, those commercials back in the day used to crack me up so hard.
I got home from work and he had done his beard and his eyebrows.
He did his eyebrows too?
Yeah, he did his eyebrows too. So me being me, like for the next month until it started to fade, I just called him Monkey Boy.
Oh, that's funny. I dyed my eyebrows a few times. Amber. I once dyed my hair like it was unicorn princess hair. It took so long to do. It was like purple towards the bottom and then pinkish and then like purple again because I kind of fucked it up. But then it like faded into blue green. And I thought I would bleach my eyebrows and dye those blue green. And it led to like a year of me having to pencil them in because I only had like 4 hairs left because the
Oh my
bleach
God.
had a reaction and my eyebrows just fell out. Thank God I didn't listen to the friend who was with me at the time who was like, just bleach your eyelashes too. And I was like, but it'll get in my eyes. And she's like, yeah, but it only burns for like a minute and then you can wash it out and they'll be bleached forever. None of this logic actually holds up. So I'm really glad I didn't listen to her.
I had this girl came in the store one night when I was working, and she had dyed her hair like bright blue, and I was trying so hard not to look at her when she was standing at the counter because she had like blue dribbles on her forehead and then a couple like blue lines running down and stuff. And I was like trying really hard not to stare at her while she was at the counter.
So I feel like I'm allowed to now because I feel like he's been quiet enough. Joseph's no longer here. But when I was younger, I went through a phase where I liked older men. And there was this one guy in particular, we were having dinner and he was sweating and it was like dark running down his forehead. And I was sitting there and I'm like, what is that?
Oh my
And at
God.
one he was like very much bald, but he was trying to hide it with I don't know what, but he was sweating it off for
Oh
the
God.
entire dinner. So he just I didn't know. Oh, Pam, I didn't know what to say when it first started happening, and then there was just so much of it. I was like, well, it's too late now. And the waitress came over at one point, and she even like she was standing behind him, sort of refilling his glass, and she's just like, like you could tell he was on a date, and then it just was going hard. Yep, this poor man sweated off almost all of his hair.
Oh God.
And by the time it was over, it looked like a weird, gross dirt smear, and just like all these streaks. It was down onto his shirt. He had no idea. I felt so bad, but it was. I don't know why anyone thought that would be
Oh God. If men start to go bald, they should just
just to embrace it.
shave their head and don't worry about it.
Just
Don't try to cover it. There's nothing I hate more than like a comb over or something like that. It's just like that is just so gross. Just shave your head and don't worry about it.
I don't know, or just be fine with having a receding hairline.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't worry about it.
I don't know. Kind of like as I'm sitting here, I keep seeing when the light catches right those little strands of silver in my hair. I could dye my hair, but like that's just too much effort. I'd rather just go with this. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah, aqua balls. Just like shave your head. I feel like if I was a guy, I would do that anyways because it's so much easier.
Yeah,
You can just
exactly.
like wake up and live your life. You have to brush your teeth. That's it.
Yeah, if I was like bald and a man, I'd just shave it.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so should we do another drawing or another giveaway?
I just actually spaced out for a moment. I just want to mane and tails. Do you remember that brand, Mane and Tail shampoo? You mentioned having horses. Chevy Fish is saying it's great for human hair and that he used to buy it and it was hard to find because so many people bought it out. Yeah, I remember I was a show kid and I used to have to order that stuff off. Oh, Jeffers Equine was the company because in tack shops, everyone bought it. And it's funny because actually, up until like a few years ago, you could find it in the people shampoo aisle of the grocery store. and it still had horses running on the front. And it makes me laugh so hard because it's horse shampoo.
Okay, so we're going to give away the last of the little original drawings. The killdeer portrait. Okay, and the rules are, because I have to keep repeating them for anybody new. It's going to be a number between 50 and 100. And the person that gets closest to the number without going over wins. And if there's a tie, then we'll do a tiebreaker one between them. And you get one guess, and you wait till I type start. And there we go.
Lola Jane, awkward pause. Yes, that is called. It's past Amber's bedtime and the coffee's wearing off.
I know, and I'm getting hungry because I haven't eaten anything yet today. And
about food. You need to eat. I'm sorry. You need to eat. I'm not sorry at all. You need to eat. People are still talking about mane and hair. That's so funny. I can still picture the bottle. It was like a weird deep mustard yellow with dark navy font on it and like bubbly lettering. Stuff was so popular. But you can admit to using it. Like back in my day, all of the cool girls were using Garnier Fructis. Like growing up in the 90s, you had to be using Garnier. Or herbal essence. If you used Suave, no one would talk to you. It's so stupid how people care about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kids in particular. I remember that. Or like I used to get picked on for wearing Vans because they were boy shoes. And I'm like, yeah, and they're comfy.
Mm-hmm.
Or Doc Martens. In high school, everyone picked on me for wearing Doc Martens. And I mean, to be fair, I still wear Doc Martens nonstop because they are the most comfortable shoes.
Yeah, they are. They're good shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to type stop. It looks like everybody's about done. You guys can double check me. But the number is number 98, and I think Fishy Fun got it exactly. And if anybody else did, let me know, and I'll go up and check. But I think that Fishy Fun won. So Fishy Fun, and she's like lagging, or here. I'm not sure if Fishy Fun is a boy or girl. But anyway, they're lagging really bad, so they probably won't know for a few minutes that they actually won. But you need to send me your address.
Oh, people, it's so funny that people are talking about shampoo and conditioner in the chat, and I'm reading brands that I haven't seen in forever, like Pert, and I'm like, oh God, this is so weirdly nostalgic.
So guys, that leaves one to give away. This one right here, the biggie one. And we're going to do it in 15 minutes because I'm getting hungry and I want to make something for dinner. And Amber's getting quiet too. So 15 minutes, we're going to give that one away, and then we're going to call it a night.
Everyone's probably like, oh my God, she's quiet. The woman's having a stroke. Amber's going to die.
Yep, this one is kind of the grand prize. This is like if I was telling them, this was the most expensive one. So, yep. The bear. The bear is going to be the last one.
That's so good.
And it can't be won by anybody overseas unless you can win it if you are willing to pay the shipping. but I can't pay the shipping for out of the country. So, but if someone wanted it and didn't live in the United States, if they wanted to pay for the shipping, that would work. Because I don't mind packing it up and stuff, and like getting it nice and stout for shipping, but I don't want to pay the price.
That beer is so good.
Alcohol says, if I win, I will party all night.
Well, good for you, Aqua Balls.
You sound tired now, Amber. I think it's about time. Like I say, at 12:30 my time exactly, we shall give that one away and
You're
call
going
it.
a little longer too. It's fine. I drank literally. I'm going to show you. I have an entire. It's now empty. I've just been sitting here refilling my coffee mug this entire time.
With just coffee?
Yeah, I have the creamer on the floor, but then I was like, I'll just have coffee. I don't even need that.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
getting
thought
to
about
that
eating
point.
something for dinner earlier, and I thought, well, I'm not really hungry. I'll be fine. And like I said, I haven't had anything except coffee today, so now I'm starting to feel it.
Joseph does that, and then he'll call me and talk really, really fast. And I'm like, you're a little intense. Have you eaten today? Oh. See, how does that work? The Dragon Lair got an indigenous American name. I technically have my tribal card, but I don't have a name. I'm jealous.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I grew up going to the Abenaki Reserve. It's in Swanton, Vermont. My family, dad actually has like 3 different types of Native American. It's Abenaki, Huron, and Mohegan.
Nice.
Because
I
Vermont,
seven,
northern Vermont, you have so many different tribes.
I'm like 75% Irish.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, no, it's not like a ton. Dad's mostly French and French Canadian with like a little Native American, and my mom's like pretty much pure Romanian with a tiny bit of Irish. I'm like, is that where the redhead gene came from, Mom? Because mom's side of the family will randomly throw redheads, and everybody has kind of like auburn hair.
that's why redheads work, I think, because it like skips generations and stuff, but keeps coming back. Um, One of my daughters is a redhead.
Yeah, my mom is.
Fishy Fun doesn't know that she's won
Oh,
because give me a minute to boot my laptop. It drops signal every time you do a giveaway. Okay, well, you won that giveaway, and you need to email me your address, your shipping address, so I can get it sent. Preferably tonight because I'm kind of planning on going to the post office tomorrow.
be careful. Yes, I'm awake. I just completely spaced out.
I know we're both getting kind of like
I'm not used to either of us being this
quiet.
quiet, Pam. People are going to get worried. Uh, yeah. Oh, so you have to have recessive red gene on both sides of the gene pool? That makes sense. Because I've never had like red hair, but my hair is not reddish. So I've always kind of wondered. And even when I dye it, it just kind of goes back to its color. It's like, no,
And my
no.
daughter Courtney has red hair, but it's really pretty actually. It's not carrot red. It's hard to describe. It's kind of lighter red, but she she's got beautiful curly hair and stuff. But she's like dyes it greens, and she looks like a mermaid most of the time now. And she's got beautiful hair.
I mean, that's not a bad description. I would like to be a mermaid. Actually, to be fair, when I was a kid, I didn't want to be a mermaid. I wanted to be a siren because they were like deadly mermaids.
Yes. I remember
I was that
one year that these little hard plastic dolls, they were about this big, and they had hair that was longer than their bodies, and they were little mermaids, and they were really popular. And for Christmas, I got her 5 of them, right?
Mhm.
And Tucker, my lovely son who's going to be here Saturday, convinced her that they would love to swim in the toilet. And they plugged the toilet up really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Like, really good.
You know what clogs the toilet up really good too? You know those fart slurpy things in a cup? You know what I'm talking about? The like flubber stuff. Yeah, my nephew once tried to flush 3 of them.
Oh my God. Megan, when she was like 2, she flushed a bar of Irish Spring.
Oh, was that an expensive plumbing call?
Luckily, her dad was a plumber, but he had to totally take the toilet off, like totally move the toilet to get to the bar of soap that had totally plugged up the toilet. And I still remember it because I had one of those stupid blue things making the water blue, and my whole bathroom had blue all over the place
Oh my God.
by the time he got done. But yeah, it was a bar of soap.
An Irish Spring has a very strong odor.
Mm-hmm.
It's very distinct. No, it's amazing the things kids will do. I think the worst for me was my nephew. It's always going to be my nephew. He's the worst out of all of them. I'm sorry, honey, but you are. Was the time he clogged the bathroom sink with I don't remember what, something that he wasn't supposed to be playing with in the sink. I told him not to use the sink. He then washed his hands, brushed his teeth, just so he had an excuse to spit all up in the sink. And then 2 hours later, I came up to the sound of water, like weird water sound. And I push open the bathroom door that wasn't shut all the way, and the little bastard standing the toilet was 4 feet away from the sink. He's standing on the toilet, peeing in the sink across the room. And I'm like, what are you doing? Didn't you mess the sink up enough? He's like, well, it's already broken. I wanted to see if I could reach. Kids, I don't understand why they're like, I'm going to try clogging this with this, and then let's see how far I can take this.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember my brother, my younger brother. Oh my God. I remember a couple different times that, well, the one in particular that I remember that took them forever to get out, and he had a bloody nose like hell, is he stuck a marble up his nose. And yeah, by the time they got the marble out of his nose, he was bleeding like a son of a gun. That's just why. It's one of those why things.
Yeah, when he was 5, he decided to eat a $50. And he told his mother it was an accident. He was holding it in his mouth. He accidentally swallowed it. And we're in the car, and I'm the aunt, so I can do that. I looked at him, and I'm like, dude, what actually happened? And he's 9 at this point. No, he wasn't. He was younger than 9. He was way younger than 9. He was like 6. Either way, he looked at me, and he's like, wanted to see if I could. I'm like, and he's like, it was hard. I'm like, yeah, you know how hard it's going to be coming out? And I don't think it had even crossed his little brain, because as soon as I said that, he's just like, oh, and he grabbed his butt. I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to hurt coming out too. He's like, no. I'm like, you shouldn't have done that. His mother comes back in the car. He's bawling, and she's like, what did you do? I'm like, he lied to you. Leave me alone. I didn't do it. It's like, oh, kids. And that's the thing too about being an aunt that scares me to like think about maybe someday having kids myself, is I know the amount of crap they've confessed to me because I'm not mom, and I'm just like, holy crap, you manipulative little monster. Like, you did what? Because your sister was having a birthday party and you wanted attention. You tried to break your own arm because it was your sister's birthday party.
And they don't grow out of it either. Boys don't grow out of it.
No, I know that. I've dated enough of them.
Yes. I remember my older brother, and my brother-in-law got in a contest one time to see who could eat the most hot peppers out of a jar, right? And I don't remember who won, but I remember my sister-in-law told me the next day that they were just as hot coming out as they were going in, and my brother didn't have any hair left on his ass.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good.
a good example of men never changing is recently. Oh, it's the funniest goddamn thing, Pam. It's the funniest thing. Lucas's kid got my phone number off their Siri. So the little bugger will call me, or sometimes he'll randomly send me the weirdest text. Like, I'm literally sitting in their basement. He had just gotten my phone number, and their 5-year-old trying to woo me was like, I'm listening to, I think it was some like Kanye West song. He's like, I'm listening to this by Kanye West. Hi, what are you doing? And within like 10 minutes, Joseph texted me. He's like, I'm cleaning the house. And he sent me a link to the song he was listening to. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, 5 to 40, they never change. They never. I have my boyfriend texting me the song he's currently listening to, and that it's a good song, and I should listen to it. I've got my friend's 5-year-old who like thinks I'm a freaking princess messaging me what he's listening to. I'm like, it's the age gap is there, but I'm gonna stay next for you. It was really cute. It was really cute to be like, they do not grow up or change at all. Oh, he's adorable though. Wesley, Lucas's kiddo. Oh, he's adorable. He's so smart. Ah. All right. I have managed to go an entire stream without harassing you about fish. Oh, we froze. Are we unfrozen now? Uh-oh. Pam? Well, Pam is frozen. I don't know what to do now because I'm not in charge here. Pam? Alrighty. Do we just sit here and wait for Pam? I don't know what to do. I'm okay, just keep talking. Okay, keep talking. Now it's the Amber Show? I guess so. Oh. No, I'm full screen. Center this. So, Pam. All right. So, what? Now what? Pam's abandoned me. Fish. Talk about fish? I don't know. Yes, you can see more of the stuff, Jesse. And if I angle it up, you can see this fantastic poster that I got from Aquatic Experience a couple years back. It was a gift to Taylor of Simply Betta, but her husband wouldn't let her have it, so now it's mine. I think it's fantastic. Pam, come back.
Was the internet? Oh, there you are.
There you are. Yay. Panic. Sheer panic. That's right, Nola Jane. I'm tired. I'm not here.
Did that go out for everybody, or was it my internet?
It did. It did. Chattanooga Ed, did I like Chris Evans as Captain America? So that's an appropriate question because I love Captain America. So I actually grew up reading the comics before I saw the movies. I feel like he did a good job portraying the cinematic take on Captain America. I think physically he did a good job being what they wanted. So Jesse, real quick, the beta macrostoma person just messaged you. So the problem with an extra female is macrostomas are mouth brooders, so the male's going to be doing all the work. And a lot of the problem you have with breeding mouth brooders is that they'll be holding anywhere from 11 to 22 days, depending on the species. And during that time, he's going to want to eat. The female is going to want to spawn nonstop, so she'll be harassing him to spawn, which encourages him to spit. So having an extra female really just kind of increases the odds of your male getting stressed. And because they're not bonded pair bettas, you don't really need an extra female. Typically reverse trios are good because you can have one male holding, and while he's holding, you can put her in with the other male and just keep bouncing back. Yeah, just a lot of breeders do that because the males are worth more and they think they're being clever. I think it's kind of crappy, but.
Are we ready for the last giveaway? The bear.
I don't know how to breed alien bettas, aqua balls. I don't work with hybrid wilds. It's actually kind of an issue that we're having in the hobby right now. Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, Chevy. Amber stayed and panicked in a tired caffeine haze. I need more coffee. So, opposite of Malawi cichlids. I've never actually worked with any Malawi cichlids. I've worked with like Tanganyikans, but. I'm proud of Buddy. He's done really good this whole stream.
Yeah, he's sleeping. Okay, I am going to go for it.
Frank, you're my favorite person of the night.
Captain America.
Oh my God. All of his comments and responses tonight have been absolutely on point. Oh, that's interesting, Chewy.
Yep, it's the bear, Priscilla.
Oh, that bear is amazing.
Does everybody have their number in? Okay, somebody got it exactly on the money. I'm going to type stop. Okay, are we ready? The winner, believe it or not, here's the number. And Candy got it on the nose.
Yay, Candy.
Yay, Candy.
We love Candy. Candy does so much work for this community. Like, so much work.
So Candy got the bear. And congratulations, Candy. And please, I know that I have your address in my Facebook Messenger, but I would have to scroll forever and ever and ever to find it. So send me your address again on Facebook Messenger. And congratulations, Candy. Zen sent her my email address.
I'm glad Candy got that. She really does do a ton for this community, and Zen Ginger too.
Yep,
Those two have been
definitely.
killing it on the mods. I saw somebody in the chat mention something about 50 first dates, and I think I know. Yes, people. I've had a few people before compare me to Drew Barrymore. I think it's the voice. I think I have a similar voice. So thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah, okay. I'm ready to go. I need to go make some dinner.
I love the hanging out with you, but I'm exhausted.
Yes, I know it's getting late.
I didn't go to bed
Both
last.
of us are getting quiet. It's time to go.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for coming in and helping me celebrate 2 years on the internet. And congratulations everybody that won, and I've got them all written down. So awesome. And I will try to get everything ready and shipped out within the next 2 days. I'd say tomorrow, except that sometimes I hate
It happens.
everything ready to go to the post office right now and getting my mask and all that stuff. But yeah, sometime either tomorrow or the next day, I will be at the post office and get everything shipped.
Yes, thank you everyone for hanging out and putting up with my tired, nonsensical, non-fish related ramblings.
It was fun.
It's always fun.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. And everybody have a good night. And I will probably see y'all on different streams tomorrow. And thank you for the congratulations. I can't believe it's been 2 years already. It's like, I still remember my first stream. I still remember how nervous I was making my first video, which was god awful. So, good night, everybody.
Night, guys.
And